everyone. No audio issues here. Off season is completely underway in full swing. Facecheck got yourselves all the news looking at LCS, LEC, LCK, maybe a little bit of LPL, and a little bit. Digon here with Dom and Loco. Loco, you are in a new spot. I don't remember doors being behind you. I just remember seeing your unmade bed. Like, what's up? Where are you at now?
Yeah, so I'm in like a giant 7-bedroom mansion now. This might not be my final room. I might upgrade to a little bit of a bigger room once everyone gets here and then we pick out the rooms. But yeah, I'll let you guys know what I'm up to in 2020.
Where is it?
It's in North Hollywood area.
All right, there you go, people. Go stalk North Hollywood for 7-bedroom houses and you'll find where Loco's at. Dom, you look refreshed. It looks like your sleep schedule has adjusted now that the ranked season is over.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've been taking some time off streaming and trying to just work on health and just get everything set up in terms of that. So been taking some time off, and obviously not having a 2 a.m. wake up every single day will lead to feeling more refreshed.
Yeah. Speaking of ranked season, where'd you finish, Dom? Did you finish?
Somewhere in Grandmaster. Yeah, somewhere in Grandmaster. I misestimated that. I misestimated when it was gonna end because they said it was ending on the 19th, which I assumed meant it was
19th at 11:59 p.m.
11:59 at the 19th, but it actually ends on the 18th. So they just say the 19th, but it ends on the 18th at 11:59. So I missed it by a day. So I was trying to do a climb. I was trying to do 600 LP climb in 6 days, but I actually only had 5. So got kind of unlucky there.
Look at where you know I was gonna ask you, where'd you end up?
So I ended D4 promos, 1 win, 1 loss. I didn't realize, the season was ending just like Dom, and I just I forgot. And then I won the game right after season ended, and I was like, wait, what the hell? So yeah, I ended D4 again. Yikes.
Yeah, normally they're pretty good at saying the time when things end, but same thing happened to me. I thought it was ending Tuesday at 11:59, and it was oh, congrats.
Well, I think the part where it's confusing is that the patches are normally Tuesday night going into Wednesday. That's always been the standard. So they actually did the patch when I thought they do the patch, but I thought the season would end
on the patch.
On the patch, because that's normally what ends up happening. It's okay, season's over, and then but this year is weird. There was one random day there where they ended the season, and then there was a day where it's not the season, not the preseason. It was just a mystery day, and then there was just the preseason patch the next day. Not sure why.
Yeah, the preseason push was terrible this year. People were jerks and big babies. It was oh, I'm dead. You didn't get my lane. I'm running it down. I was I don't even want to waste my time doing this anymore. All right, well, those are our ranks. Hopefully you guys finished wherever you wanted to finish.
You didn't say your rank. What do you mean those are our ranks?
Those are their ranks. We don't need to talk about
Wait. Where's your rank? What's your rank? Whoa. Speak up.
I finished plat. I'm always finished plat.
Plat what?
It doesn't matter. It's plat.
Wait.
When you look
plat
up
what?
LPGG, it says plat for the past 5
That has to be plat 4.
Yeah.
That's Loco saying he finished Diamond. He's I was Diamond. I was trying to make the push for Master, but failed. It's oh, wait, you mean you finished Diamond 1?
I will say this is not even. This is plat 4, 0 LP with probably 8 losses against the demotion. I had to stop playing because I was I'm going to demote. There's not going to be enough time for me to get back up. It was scary. And I will say this is the worst I've done in the last 4 years. Every other year, I promise, I've been plat 1, pushing it. But this year, plat 4, 80 carry was not so good to me after kha'zix changes. kha'zix changes.
You gotta play Heimerdinger, just sell your soul like Tyler 1 did.
Could have done it, but at least Tyler 1 got in. Did you see Chase? Chase was the bar. That was insane. That he was, 251 or whatever it is, 301. That was nuts. But yeah, rank season over. That means off season is underway. And
wait, oh my God. Wait, has anyone seen that Dardoch just went to TSM? What the fuck? I just saw somebody in chat say it.
Oh God.
Wait, is this real? Oh my God. What the Oh my God! I think it might be real. Holy shit!
Let's do it.
Real? All right. Well, we'll get into that one. Holy chat's broken. It's real. TSM's underway. The move that I think Dom has been asking for, getting Dardoch out of Academy Hell, has been finally knocked through. We're gonna go through alphabetical order, so we're starting with 100 Thieves, but then we'll work our way. Don't worry. work our way through TSM. TSM, I think, is last in the alphabet, so we'll have a lot of time there to chat about them and all their moves and all the junglers that they worked with. So let's kick things off with 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves had a roster, made some big splashy moves with Bang coming on in, and then realized they had way too many imports and had to use our very favorite Max in the mid lane, Soligo. Ryu had to eventually come on in. Bang ends up getting the start. Someday it rides the bench, and then Fake God gets to play a lot. This 100 Thieves roster really never materialized the way I think a lot of people did. At the end of the day, now Papa Smithy comes into the organization, probably gets let go. Kha'Zix also an addition as well, and they add a guy familiar to the organization in the form of Meteos coming back, and then the big signing, Ryoma from the Oceanic region, formerly of Bombers, played for Chiefs for a while, Sin Gaming as well when they were 3 years ago. Sin doesn't even exist anymore. With Bombers, they had the opportunity to go to MSI this year. I know all these things. I have to study all these things.
I actually knew all this just because I played in OC during his time over there. So I got to see him go from there. I think he went to Chiefs and then Bombers afterwards. So I mean, I don't discredit him at all because he had to play with Jews as his jungler, which is a sentence I would not wish anyone to have to fulfill. If you guys don't know who Jews is, he's D3, D4, MMR the whole time he was in OPL. So he's a D3, D2 level jungler from OC. And I think that actually, brought down his value a little bit, but he's looked better in the last couple of years. So I don't know if this is a shot where he should be getting LCS, but I definitely think that he could be an academy starter for sure.
Okay, before we talk too much about Rima, let's update the bot lane situation a little bit. So from what I understand, it's not decided. It could be either Afromo, it could be either Stunt. And then for the mystery option, where 100 Thieves is at from the Jacob Wolf deal is they sent over Bang, and they have a option to buy out Deathly if they can't decide on a better AD carry. So Deathly is going to be in starting limbo depending on if 100 Thieves can
fucking
get
disrespectful for the best Worlds AD carry in 2019.
I mean, he was undefeated at Worlds.
Undefeated at Worlds. Should be the starter. Sorry, yep. I got real emotional. Why are they treating him like this?
For Afro, put Flash Stunt. Yeah, because that's the other big option.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I mean, this team just doesn't look like it's going to do that much damage looking at it. I feel like this is just a 7th, 8th place team. Unless Ryoma is suddenly a beast, I feel like there's so many more imports you could go for. Any of the Korean imports, I would take over somebody like Ryoma. And I just don't have that much confidence in Someday anymore. It's proven to me last year, right, that if Someday has a weak mid, weak bot, he's not going to be able to carry the game 1v9, right? And it feels like they're going back to this plan again. I mean, obviously there's a better jungler this time, Meteos. I would take him over Anda. Probably take him over Amazing as well. But in terms of just Ryoma versus Soligo Ryu, that tier of player, I don't really think that Ryoma is significantly better. And when you look at all the mids that are going to be playing in NA, I don't really think that there's a chance where he's top 6 or top 7. So I don't really see that this team has enough firepower to really make a top 3 appearance. I feel like Meteos is going to probably perform better than people expect, but even if he performs well and some days performing like a god, I still don't think they win.
I mean, that's a lot of fire. I know you said lack of firepower, but there were times where Optic were making waves because of Meteos, and we've seen Someday be able to do it. I think Someday just got benched because they invested too much in their brand and in the big move to pick up Bang that they had to use Bang. And the drop-off between Bang to Prismal was much larger than Fake God to Someday.
Yeah, from how I see it, it's Papa Smithy coming in and being okay, what was the problem? Okay, this offseason is way too crazy in terms of buyouts and in terms of the kind of money that's being spent. How can I make something that works that's on the cheaper side? I think the only player they probably have to pay a lot of money for would be Meteos, and that's only in salary. Yeah, Someday also, but Someday's already on the roster, so I'm pretty sure salary is somewhat controllable.
Yeah.
And they don't need to buy out anyone. I'm not sure if Ryoma was on a contract, but even if you do need to buy him out, it's from
it's an OCE contract. That shit's like, give me $5 and a Snickers bar and you can have him.
Yeah. So this is a very, very budget roster. And they also know the combination of Someday and Meteos can work. I think Meteos is a player that you kind of need to have a good setting around him where he's comfortable and he's happy with everyone around him. Someday Meteos, we've seen that before. And I think that's where the Afro thing is going to fit in. If Meteos and Afro can work together again, then it should be Afro. But in the case it can't, then it'll be Stun. As for AD carry, they'll just get the best player available.
Yeah, and to that point, what do we remember what the move was for? I know Anda came in, and Anda in Anda's career was playing well at that point, but why did they move Meteos in the first place again? Do we remember?
There was internal problems with Prolly, apparently, right? There was problems between Meteos and Prolly as a coach, and then he went to FlyQuest Academy. And then Cody's son got benched out of nowhere. It seemed like there was just issues with Prolly and Meteos and Cody.
So there was a problem with Prolly and Meteos, and then now that Prolly is no longer with 100D, so the door opens again. For the exact thing that happened, I think it was they wanted to try out who's that jungler they had, Academy jungle that was supposed to be really good. Oh my god, I'm blanking.
Anda?
No, not Anda.
It was Academy, yeah.
Levi?
Levi, there we go. So they wanted to try out Levi during Rift Rivals, and Meteos didn't like that. And then so he asked for a trade, and then they were like, the only person that really wants you is FlyQuest, so Baya, and then that kind of soured the relationship. That's
what they said? You think they said Baya?
No, they probably said, I don't know what they said.
All right. I mean, I guess it could be Baya. All right. Makes sense.
You don't imagine Nashad going Baya Meteos?
I feel like he would just give some random bro talk, see you later, bro. See you in 2020. Some shit like that.
See you in 2020. We'll get rid of all the people that don't like you here, and then you'll come back.
See you later on a cheaper contract.
I mean, I don't know. It's you look at a roster like this. I feel like Zix being a coach, he's good with coaching this type of roster. Yes. I've always thought that Zix has been talented at bringing a middle of the pack team or a lower than middle of the pack team to the middle of the pack or to the bottom of the top end. But I just don't think that what team has ever been top 3 in NA without a superstar AD carry or mid laner, one of the best players on the team being an AD carry or mid laner.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the big thing.
It's right there. It's on the roster.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
it's on
shit.
the roster already.
They are really
come
fucked.
On, Dom.
All right, they're more fucked than I thought originally. Okay.
No, I agree with Dom that this team won't be a top team, but every team has a different expectation. I think Papa Smithy and 100G are smart enough to know competing for first with the pieces they have is pretty much impossible. So they're trying to put together a playoff roster with reasonable budget. And I think this is what that is. Playoff roster with reasonable budget.
Yeah. I mean, I guess people are saying you have 2018 Echo Fox, but still I viewed Phoenix, even though Phoenix was up and down, he had a really big strength, which was able to be played off of, which was his insane laning phase. Phoenix has always been one of the best laners in North America, in LCS when he played. And I feel that just kind of empowers somebody you have a good you have Dardoch, you have you have Dardoch on your team, you have Huni on your team, you have some firepower there, and you have firepower at least in the early game. But it seems like players like Ryoma, people like Prisma, Mole, definitely I just feel they're just going to be generally losing lane against the field, if not heavily ganked by Meteos.
Yeah, in this is my last cool Osh fact of Ryoma. In the spring, he had a KDA of almost 8, I believe, throughout the spring regular season. That's a pretty high.
Damn, Chovy had 104 in Korea. Jesus Christ, KDA is so important.
Chovy isn't available. He's not available to get picked up. And he costs way more money than Ryoma does. A lot of it came off of LeBlanc. So he is playing
more
assassins. Yes, true. But he is playing more of assassins and
I just don't I just feel man, until they announce Ryoma, I just assume it would be Academy, right? Because that's what most of these players are coming over here for. All these OC players are there's rumored a bunch of Academy players that are coming over from OC. And I feel that's just the natural starting point is because of the rule with Academy and you being able to field an extra player on your Academy roster from a minor league.
Minor.
I feel like that's just the rational place to start off. It's like, it seems like such a big jump to be like, oh, you're going from OPL to NALCS. It feels like you need to like see how they do in Academy first, because when you look at players like Lost and like FBI, right, those guys were better in OC than Ryoma was over the course of their careers, in my opinion. Like, they were just mechanical beasts. They're all like super high rated all the time, and like even when they came over to NA, they did really well in solo queue. And when we saw them on stage, neither of them really performed that well. So I don't know. I just think that like people will try to meme LCS as being like, oh, that's like such a dog shit league. It's like, if you think LCS is dog shit, go watch a couple OPL games. Like, that's some real dog shit over there. Like I'm telling you, those players, like those games, you'll have players that are literally like D2, D3 level in NA playing in OPL. Like, those will be competitive players in that region. So it's just like doing super well in OPL, having an 8 KDA. It's like, dude, fuck it, 8 KDA. Like 8 KDA in that league is nothing, because the level of competition is so low.
I think I can see Roma starting, even though I know nothing about him, because Papa Smithy is also Australian, so he might want to give the Australian kids a little bit more of a chance. No, it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
The other team that loves Oceanic imports is
Golden Guardians, because of
Nero.
Yeah, because of Nero.
No, that's a thing, because like there are talented players there. It's just like the same way as if you went like if you went to Europe, right? And this was back in fucking like season 2, season 3 or something, when like NA was like coming into the scene. There's definitely players, like the best players from NA could have played in EU LCS and still been okay. You know, it's not like the top tier players, just because the league is better, just because LEC, EU LCS is better than NA LCS, it doesn't mean that every single player is just going to be automatically dog shit because they play in that region. Like, there's people that just are unlucky and they're just born in like wanting to play League of Legends, and they're born in Australia. So there definitely is talent there, but it just takes so long, because it's like you don't even get a proper competitive experience. Like, that's the thing that I think is the most difference, is when you look at those Oceanic region players, it's like, oh, they have 3 years competitive experience. Well, it doesn't mean anything when you're getting that level of competitive experience. Like, there's gonna be a huge amount of knowledge that they're gonna have to learn to just be able to play in LCS. Like, basic rotations and stuff are just not done yet over there.
So I kind of wanted to touch on the fact that Ryoma is coming in as the second import along with Someday. No AD carry import needed anymore with Bang moving on. You'll use Prismal or Deathly or whoever else you can get. This kind of means that it's another NA slot that could have potentially opened up for the mid lane, now going by wayside. And is Ryoma better? Can he be better than some of the other NA talent in the mid lane? So who's still available? Damonte is probably the big name that's still available.
Yeah, like I wouldn't fucking know. I wouldn't think that Ryoma is a massive upgrade over Damonte. Like, if you gave me like 2019 ends, right? Damonte finishes his season. We see the end of Ryoma in OPL, doesn't even qualify or whatever. Like, and then you see that situation unfold. Like, how can you say that Ryoma is significantly better than Damonte? Because that's what he has to be, because he's an import, right? Like, it can't be like oh, well, maybe they're around the same level, but like they're both young players. It's like, if that's the argument, you go with Damonte every single time. Like, you need to have, like, if you're using import slots, your imports have to be fucking better than the rest of the NA players.
I just don't know much about this Ryoma guy to make a really hard judgment call on whether he'll be even better than Damonte, but we'll see. Also, the other fun like speculation that people have been doing is, well, there's Meteos. Sneaky's not going to be starting on C9, and the way Sneaky was unseated, it wasn't, guys, I'm going to gracefully step back. I'm going to go play in Academy, or like I'm going to go stream. He said on stream there were people on the team that didn't want to play with me anymore, or didn't want to play with the bot lane anymore. So when you're unseated like that, you often look for another team to kind of be like, no, these guys are wrong. Like, I still have a shot. Sneaky and Meteos, great friends, and I think that
double lift.
I think that's actually something that can happen. 100D Sneaky.
I mean,
potential for that.
That could happen. Sneaky and Afro have always been like pretty decent friends, and then obviously Sneaky and Meteos are like super fucking close. But at the end of the day, I see that roster too, and it's like, where's the fucking firepower? Do you really think that like Afro
on the Twitter following?
Yeah, but I mean,
that's where the firepower is on that roster.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, I don't think Sneaky's going to be that cheap. Like, I feel like you're going to actually have to pay for someone like that. So I feel like at that point you're just overpaying for a roster that's probably not going to get big results. Like, do you think that Sneaky is going to be able to like take this team's placing that much higher? Like, let's say this is like a 5th, like, or let's say this is like a 7th place team. Do you think that Sneaky makes this like a 4th place team or like a 3rd place team? Like, I don't really know if the difference between Sneaky and Deftly and Prismal is that high.
I think I think that's high. I think Sneaky is significantly better than Deftly and Prismal, and he gets underrated from last year. But if he comes back this year, he'll have more of a fire. And in terms of like Sneaky being expensive, Papa will put a number in front of him where he'll be like, and Sneaky won't have a lot of options, and Sneaky won't to actively play with Meteos and Afro. So I think Sneaky will come down in price if the offer is made from 100 Thieves. He has to. There's no way he can get his like normal Sneaky pricing. I
mean, I just don't see how that team holds up like in terms of just like straight up laning. Like, it feels like this type of team will just get straight up just dicked in early game by teams like Afromu. It's not old Afromu and old Sneaky, right? Like, Afromu has generally been like out pressured in lane by other supports, like people like Zazel, people like Biofrost, people like Core JJ, Smoothie. Like, these supports are just significantly better in lane than Afro right now. When you look at Sneaky and you compare him to like some of the other people that he's going to be playing against, Bang, you compare him to Kobbe, which is probably going to be the AD carry for TSM. You compare him to Double Lift. You compare him to Cody's son. Like, these people, like, I don't see how Sneaky and Afro just start winning every lane unless they both massively improve. And I don't really bank on older players massively improving season to season.
Yeah, and I like your point there, Loco, about just waiting on it, right? You have an option in the form of Deftly and the price goes down. That actually kind of makes sense to me now with those NA mid laners. Specifically, I keep thinking of Damonte or Froggen, right? Damonte, Froggen, more expensive because they've had that LCS experience. Damonte coming off Worlds, Froggen just because he's an import and very good. You can sit there and say, hey, look, we've got our young kid that we're willing to play and have Soligo play Academy if we need to. But if you're willing to come down in price, we'll have you compete for that starting lineup. You come down and you're no longer overpaying for this roster anymore in multiple different positions. But yeah, Sneaky an option here at the bottom side of the map. We'll see who they go with. Are they going to stick with Soligo? Will Soligo Watch still be a segment in 2020? Hopefully, but maybe not. Maybe Soligo's just a piece here to drive the prices down on this 100 Thieves roster. So final bets here. Playoff team, not a playoff team. Remember, and we can't have more than you can only have 6 designations of a playoff team.
I think this will be a playoff team, and I think that's their goal.
I feel like a bottom playoff team. I feel like they're a bottom playoff team that's just gonna get like eliminated first round if they make it.
I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't think this team has enough firepower from the bottom side of the map. There's no answer there, and we don't know anything about Ryoma, so maybe we're all wrong. But okay.
Right. I know about Ryoma, dude. I hard flamed him when I was in OC. I hard flamed Ryoma, dude. Are you kidding me? This guy lost so many goddamn games, man. Like, nah, it's personal. It's personal from what he did to my LP in solo queue. You know, it's not like Soligo, which is completely founded on him playing LCS, and it's practically a meme at this point. I actually think Soligo is like improving a lot from when he played. Like, I've been watching like some of his stream and stuff, and he's somebody that's invested in getting better. It just, at the time, I think Soligo is just like the worst fucking mid laner ever to play LCS. But I mean, I think that maybe in a year, like, we could see Soligo be like a bottom tier LCS, you know,
yeah,
mid laner.
We'll definitely,
but not by the same margin.
Big dreams.
Yep.
And both on 100 Thieves. How about that? All right.
That's what it is for an NA player. Like, let's be real. As an NA player, as an NA mid laner, you are like gonna be bottom tier no matter what. Like, you look at the roster that we have of mid laners, it's like Golden Glue, Damonte, Pobelter, these are like the bottom tier LCS mid laners that are like being shown. I don't know. It just is what it is.
All right. Let's go next, Daniel.
Yeah, I think that was good. Keep an eye on Cat Evolved. Just throwing that name out there as well.
Yeah, no, he has potential too, but it's like he'd be fucking bottom tier LCS mid laner as well. Like, our mid laners are stacked in NA, like in terms of just like, we just bought all the good mid laners from other regions. That's what we fucking do here.
And then we don't have money for anybody else. And now,
yeah, and then we have no money for everyone else.
Budget 100 Thieves.
Yep.
All right. CLG next up. Their 2019 roster: Ruin, Wiggly, Power of Evil, Stixxay, and Biofrost. They had some of the early moves in the season, moving Biofrost, sending him back to Daddy TSM because BioDaddy could not function here in CLG, and then picking up Smoothie, the support who's played for almost every damn team in the LCS at some point. He's been a well-traveled, highly rated support. Now we'll duo up with Stixxay, and then Crown being picked up here recently by CLG from Optic in the mid lane, releasing Power of Evil, building around Wiggly and Stixxay, who both got contract extensions, and we're pretty sure Ruin is coming back. But
so we can remove the question marks around Ruin, because Ruin tweeted that I'm really grateful CLG is giving me a second shot despite me playing badly in summer. So it'll be really fucked up for him to tweet that and then CLG kick him.
Holy fuck. Maybe
CLG told him like, okay, maybe we'll bring you back, and then he made that tweet, and then CLG's now like, we can't kick him now.
What a big IQ play by Ruin for job security.
Yeah, it's a good way to secure your spot.
You could still technically get kicked. It would just make the org look like giant assholes.
Nah, you'd have to make a statement. If someone did that, you have to make a statement being like, we never had a conversation about that. We wish him the best of luck. Thanks for it. We're signing solo. You could take solo there instead. But Ruin, import, he stabilized that top lane. There were times where he was doing his job. There's times where he wasn't, but I think we all came to the consensus he was better than Dardoch on the top side of the map, making this 2019 a success.
I hope so.
Lane. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it was looking bad in spring.
So Power of Evil, Crown, they moved around again. Crown following Power of Evil for the second time because he replaced Power of Evil back in 2019. How do you feel like this? Let's start you there in the mid lane. How do you feel like this mid lane switch of Crown to Power of Evil works? Because Loco, I think you had Crown pretty high up in the mid lane tier list. Dom, I think we all did. I think we all had him fourth.
Yeah. I had him right above Power of Evil, pretty much.
So one small correction. So Ruin was memeing Wiggly, saying like, because Wiggly first said CLG bring him back after a poor spring split, but still, the fact that he's memeing Wiggly and saying that means he's staying on the team. It would be fucked up for him to say that and meme and still get kicked. So like the point still stands. But let's move on with Daniel's question. Where does Crown stand? I think Crown's like top 3, top 4 mid lane. It's like what? Jensen, Bjerg, Niski, any order you want to have it. And after that, it's Crown, or you put Power of Evil, or you're Thorin, and then you put Froggen at 4. But I think Crown at 4 or Crown at even 3 is not a bad ranking at all.
Damn, Crown at 3.
Crown at
I don't
3?
know about. I don't think I could have put Crown at 3.
Bjerg, Jensen, Niski?
Yeah. Crown had the worst players around him, comparatively. I actually had Bjerg had worse players.
Yeah, Bjergsen had worse players, and I also think that like Crown had a good jungler, which is really what you need as a mid lane. Like if you have a fucking bad bot lane, it's like, oh, that's BG, I guess. But having a good jungler is like what allows you to at least play the game.
So thoughts here. It feels like then we think this is just a lateral movement for CLG in the mid lane.
This just seems like, I feel like this is going to be like a 3rd, 4th place roster, depending on everything. I feel like TSM will probably improve. Cloud9 will probably be a little bit worse. And then I feel like this roster will probably be like, like probably 3rd or 4th, depending on how much like C9 players can step up.
If we're going to speak junglers, then Niski had Svenskeren. And who else? Niski had Svenskeren, Jensen had Xmeti. I think Jensen and Niski both had better junglers than Crown. The only person you can argue had a worse jungler is Bjerg.
Yeah. I can see that. I don't know. I just feel like this is the same level of CLG team. Like Biofrost and Smoothie, I think are pretty interchangeable. Like some people will say Smoothie's a little bit better because of like shot calling and stuff like that. Biofrost has been rumored to be pretty quiet in team environments. And then now it's like, I guess Biofrost would be considered to have a little bit better mechanics than Smoothie, but they're both like pretty good players. I don't see that being much of a difference in terms of support. So it just like maybe Crown just starts insanely popping off or something, and this team ends up super good, but I just can't see this level of team winning a championship. This just seems like a upper middle of the pack team.
I think they'll be top 3, and then it'll be heavily dependent on what TSM does and how Dignitas pans out. If they can go to Worlds, like the goal for this team should be going to Worlds. The one thing that's really weird for me is why they allowed the Bio Smoothie trade. that trade makes all the sense from TSM side. They worked with both Smoothie and Bio. Bjerg probably has a preference on which support they want to play with, and I also know Bio is good friends with Lustboy, Parth, Bjerg, so there's still friendship there. From CLG's end, Bio was their captain, one of their most vocal players, and also very front-facing in all their content. So for them to kind of hit the reset button on the support and trade with Smoothie, and from what I understand, it's
let's be
also
honest.
an even
No one
trade.
was watching CLG's fucking content anyway. All right, like that was
Sorry,
not
Captain
like
Jack.
no one cared about their fucking reality show or like any of that shit. Like they had no players with personality on their team, so they just gave it to Biofrost out of like pity. Like that was not a move where it was just
The big content thing
like,
I remember
oh man,
from CLG
he's
is
the one that everyone
Stixay
is
and
like
Power of Evil look the
invested in.
same. It was like, which one is it? Oh, it's Power of Evil this time. The shape of their
makes
head
sense to
slightly
me.
different.
Makes sense to me why it would work from the other end. Why is Smoothie better than Biofrost for CLG? That's the part I can't understand.
Maybe because like generally speaking, Smoothie's had a more like dominant shot calling style. Like Smoothie has proven that he can be the main shot caller on a team, right? Biofrost has kind of proven that he's not suitable for that. He's like somebody that will like feed information and he can make calls in certain situations, but being like the overall like go-to, you're calling every single play. You're the one that's like telling which setups to do, like what like how you're going to play Baron situations. It just never seemed like that was something that was like suited towards Biofrost. So I think that maybe it's like kind of mutually beneficial where Bjergsen has always been kind of like a main voice or like shot caller for TSM. And now like instead of having two shot callers on one team, which can get confusing and it can be like there ends up being like dissonance between what play is called at different times and like who to listen to at different points of the game, etc. Like now you have just like each team has a solid shot caller and like they'll both it'll kind of be like how C9 was. Like this CLG roster will maybe function the same way that like C9 did in 2017. 2018.
Yeah, a couple of other points to keep in mind. Wiggly and Stixay, the guys that get contracts here, Stixay, that's the one that they're investing in. So I think you get input from him. Like you get input from TSM, from Bjergsen, you're getting input from your cornerstone player in the form of Stixay saying, hey, look, I think we've reached the max at what we could do here from Biofrost. Let's try with Smoothie. And all these guys that play with each other in solo queue, they have an idea of what that relationship would be like. The other move that I think we don't cover in this, I didn't put it on there, Coach Song moving over to CLG now to give a little bit more of a game knowledge background beyond just Weldon. I don't think they've moved on from Weldon. It's more of an addition to Weldon. And Song with TSM before was with Echo Fox and known as a tactician and a little bit stricter of a coach, I would say.
So he's replacing Irene, and I actually have a really high opinion of Irene, and from what I heard internally within CLG, everyone loved Irene, and he was a really good coach and a huge reason for their turnaround. So I also don't have the highest opinion of Song. It seems like Song hasn't done very well in NA on any of the teams he's been on other than Immortals. And I think that was a lot of Xmithy. So yeah, I'm not sure how Song's going to work out here. If I had to take a guess in terms of coaching, I think he'll be a downgrade to Irene.
And it's surprising because Irene's Korean. You're like, Korean player, Korean coach, Korean player. This works out great. Irene would have been the fit already in-house, not getting renewed and now being a free agent coach as well. Do we think it's weird that Ruin is still here on this roster? He's still the guy. There wasn't, a look elsewhere, someone else, a free agent, an NA talent. Again, Solo is floating around freely right now. And we had Solo, I think, at top four top laner.
I think Crown wants to play with another Korean player, and Crown wants to play under a Korean coach. I think those are the things he probably asked for. So Ruin is Korean, and CLG got a Korean coach, so I think that's kind of the direction. They want to make it easier for Crown to come in.
Loco, 2 for 2 on nationality pushes. The all-Osh roster with 100 Thieves. Now the Korean requirements for Crown to come in and try to turn around this CLG roster.
It's really hard for super Korean people, like fresh off the boat Korean people, to come in and just get used to North American culture without someone kind of showing you the ropes.
Yeah, there needs to be just like the honorary Korean on the team that's gonna like take you to K-Town, get you your soju, and just like,
Smoke cigarettes with you.
Yeah, smoke cigarettes with you like after every scrim, complain about how shitty all the NA players are on your team together. Like you need that type of like bond here. So.
There's always a master and an apprentice.
Yep.
Yeah,
There must always be two.
And then you end up with Piglet and Phoenix, and
or you end up with just Mickey. So
no, there's good examples of it. You can get Lustboy Loco. You can be like if the mentor.
Lustboy Loco. Okay, all right.
Oh, we won 2 championships, Dom, and we got finals, and we made it out of group. Don't you dare laugh.
Okay, all right. The Lustboy Loco is the standard.
It is the golden standard for Koreans helping other Koreans.
Holy shit!
What about Reaper?
Reaper still hasn't won a championship here. Lustboy Loco is the golden standard.
Yeah.
What about Kane?
That's different.
What is that different? Kane Impact.
Kane didn't. What is it? A lot. Kane wasn't really introducing Impact to North America. Impact was here for a long time, and Kane had a giga stacked roster. Anyways, let's go back to COG.
Yeah, no, Loco's roster sucked. It only had like
this argument. I was about to say,
I had Dyrus Turtle
on a different roster.
I had Dyrus Turtle. I had Dyrus Turtle.
I think Dyrus and Turtle were actually good for the time.
Okay.
Like, wait, you think Dyrus was like not top 3? Top laner?
Top laner in your
He was
time,
top
though.
3, but barely top 3 because like it wasn't like Darshan and who did you guys have? Quas?
Yeah.
It wasn't like Darshan and Quas were so far below. And I think Darshan and Quas were better at playing carry than Dyrus. It was Maokai meta, and we just stuck him on Maokai.
All right.
Think about how different Seraph's career would have been if he would have had such mentors like Lustboy Loco.
Holy shit.
All right, let's go back to CLG. Let's go back to CLG. One thing that is like quite special about this team and like a really valuable player that I don't think a lot of people have a good grasp on is Wiggly. Wiggly is someone that's young, someone that has his own voice, and that's really coming onto his own as a jungle. I think a lot of the NA junglers we kind of bet on before have crashed and burned and really hasn't lived up to their potential, like Dardoch, Contracts, Acadian. So it's really nice to see.
Wait, so if you had a choice between Wiggly and Dardoch right now, you'd take Wiggly?
Right now, I would take Wiggly.
All right. I would take Dardoch.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Hot take.
I've always thought Dardoch was good, though. I've always thought, what the fuck? I'm the guy that picked Dardoch out from solo queue and moved him into the TL house. Like, what the fuck? Like,
so it was your fault.
Yeah, it was literally my fault. Dardoch was my fault. Dude, what the fuck was I supposed to do, man? They're like, which jungler do you think could replace you in NA? And it was like him or pretty much were my 2 options.
Him or who? You cut out.
Moon.
Oh,
Moon. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, but Wiggly's someone that's really highly wanted. Like, I'll give you guys like a cool background story. So when Wiggly got kicked from C9 Academy, he came over to my apartment because he was friends with one of the other people living in my apartment, Zoo, another coach. And I got to talk to Wiggly. And then Wiggly basically got kicked out for being toxic. So like I had a conversation with him regarding like being toxic, like what it means to actually put in the work, what it means to like play as like a top tier player and like kind of change yourself. And Wiggly had some of the best answers. And I consulted for teams after that, and I recommended him to 2 teams, and both those teams commented on his like jungle pathing and his mechanics. But I told him like he has a great mindset, and if you give him an opportunity and you work with him regarding like the parts you don't like, he will improve very quickly. And then they both ended up not going with Wiggly and ended up going with different people. And then about in summer, both teams came back to me and told me you were right, and we should have picked up Wiggly. So,
okay.
Yeah, he's someone that I think a lot of teams have a really high opinion on, and I think rightfully so. Wow, you guys don't give a fuck. Okay.
What are we supposed to say to that story? What the fuck take am I supposed to have? It's like,
okay.
Like, well, it's like, well, he came to my apartment and I said he was good, and then everyone else thought he was bad, but then they said he might have been good later. Like, what? Like, okay.
Okay, never mind. Fuck it.
All right.
Good guy, mentor, Loco Doco. Coming at you in 2020. He's going to be supporting Saligo. He's going to be supporting all these NA mid laners, telling him to switch position. All right. So final thoughts. We think playoff team even higher, top 3, or we just leave it playoffs?
For this team, I think the expectation is Worlds. If they don't make expectation, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go as far as like predicting like summer and shit, but like I think spring, it's like you lose in semis with this team. Okay. Like they look pretty good, and then they just lose in semis, and it's like whatever. At least we're not like fucking last.
Dude, Dom can't put a positive spin on anything. Dom could have said like they make semis, like what is it? Maybe they play for third. What is it? They're gonna be a top 4 team. You're like, nope, they lose in semis.
We already know. It's TL and somebody. That's kind of the big question. The
in spring, it's always like TL TSM, isn't it? Like TSM normally does like pretty well, I feel like, and then they just crash and burn eventually. But
the springs are okay. Coming from Crown and Stixay, right? That's what we're thinking, or Crown and Wiggly? Because again, Meteos and someday that is a decent amount of firepower, but we think that Crown and Stixay better firepower for CLG to have.
Yeah, you just have like relatively good players in every position, besides for like top, is what I see. And they've proven that they could play together last year. Like Ruin, Wiggly, and Stixay played together pretty well last year. I can't see Smoothie and Crown not being able to fit into this like mold. So I think this is a well suited team. And I think that they like stylistically, I feel like Crown probably matches better with Wiggly than Power of Evil did. I think just in general, probably Crown fits teams a lot different than Power of Evil, because Power of Evil is the type of player where it's like you have to play Power of Evil's style. It's like he's just not. Yeah, like he's just gonna play like his champions. It's like, all right, well, let's hope that fucking Orianna and shit is good, and we'll just like play around it. Like he's gonna pick Ziggs in some games that like matter, kind of like I don't know. It's a weird fucking situation having Power of Evil on your team. Whereas like Crown is like not the best on like assassins and stuff, but from what we saw last split, he could at least play them, at least in NA.
I think Biofrost to Smoothie is a downgrade, but CLG thinks it's an upgrade, or at least a side grade. So if it is actually an upgrade, then this roster is upgrading like in a lot of places that are important. But I think it's going to be a side grade overall. Yeah,
I think Dom's point about Crown's champ pool and fitting with his team better actually will work wonders for Wiggly. Because again, I've told this story once, but it's so good. When we were,
are you going to tell a story about Wiggly moving into Loco's apartment?
No, you've heard that one before.
Oh, okay. I was ready for it again.
You look refreshed.
I thought it was good enough that we could just run it back.
Power of Evil was playing on Optic with Acadian. Acadian changed his tournament realm name to Dog 1. He was Dog 1. Big was Dog 2, and they were forced to play. Now with Wiggly being able to get a bit more creative in his jungle pathing, I think it's going to work out for him.
Damn, that's how players act passive aggressively. They change the name. Coach sucks.
Yeah. Were you there with us, Loco, when High changed his name?
What did High change his name to?
Azir.
I think I might have been. Yeah.
Because
that's where players can truthfully talk about how they really feel on the inside. Their tournament realm names.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. You need to play a little bit more Azir. I think that's a good champion play. All right. Let's
Dardoch often had Get Me Out as his name when we were on TL, and that's when we wanted to get out of TL.
Tournament realm
names.
Get Me Out. Grabs, what was your tournament realm name? Let us know in the chat. All right, here we go. TLG, top 3
It was definitely a Flaming Yankos name. I guarantee it was something like Flaming Yankos in some way. Had to be.
All right, we'll keep an eye out in the chat for it. All right, let's go next. Alphabetical order. Most moves made so far, I believe, from the returning LCS franchises. Cloud9, Licorice Kumo, Sven and Blabber got time. Niski Golden Glue. That was probably the least kind of substitutions there. Sneaky and Deathly, Zazel and Diamond were your 2019 roster for Cloud9. Now Kumo's gone. Blabber getting the starting role for now. Niski returning. But then Sven and Vulcan, the bot lane, brand new bot lane here. What do you think about the moves that this 2020 Cloud9 roster has made?
So, Sneaky said, people didn't want to play with bot lane, or people didn't want to play with me. I wonder who those people are. And then
maybe the other people. Wait, what if it was actually him and he's just bipolar? Holy fuck, that would be insane. He's like, I just didn't want to play with myself. I'm retired.
Oh shit, Niski's in chat. Okay,
Niski's been in chat the whole time. We've been waiting to get to Cloud9, Niski, and then Niski made his own tweet that people read into earlier.
Yeah. So Niski talked about it's not just me, or it's not people because people were blaming Licorice. No, people were blaming Licorice. People are Licorice, so he's saying it wasn't just Licorice. Like everyone talked, but someone has to say the first word, right? Like after you lose from Worlds, like you sit in your room all quietly, and then people start leaving, and then you're there with your owner, and then you're like, "Yo, Jack, can I talk to you for a second?" Someone says that. Someone says, "Yo, Jack, yo, Andy, can I talk to you?" Right after you lose, right after you're out of groups, that you need to say it right there and then. I'm not joking. It's not. It wasn't.
No,
just,
I've done it before.
It wasn't just for TSM. It's for every single team that doesn't make playoff, that does not make Worlds, that loses
hell
in finals.
No. We had a more hype situation. Let me like.
Yeah.
When we didn't make Worlds, when we didn't make Worlds, and we got reverse swept by LMQ, right? We went out to dinner, and Steve made us all talk and like say for every single player whether we wanted to play with them or not. Jesus. So it was like it was so hypey. It was the most hypey conversation you get. Lose your chance, right? You're up 2-0. You lose to LMQ. Everyone is like, how the fuck did that happen? That was one of the first reverse sweeps. That was right when best of 5 was introduced to LCS, right? So before that, it was only best of 3s. Like these 3 games in a row was just like unheard of to lose. So it's like the most embarrassing thing of your life. You go out to a fucking dinner at Yard House, and then it's just like, all right, so we're gonna go for Dom. All right, Cop, do you want to play with Dom? Quas, do you want to play with Dom? Void, do you want to play with Dom? Xpecial, do you want to play with Dom? Okay, we'll keep Dom. All right, Cop's on the chopping block, and we had to just go one at a time and just say, like, do we want to play with them? And like all of us just like, and number one, it was more than just like, at that time we were all living like together. It was like a different kind of environment. It was more like friendly or whatever. It was season 4. It was just everyone lived in the same house. Like people like we all kind of came into like esports and like fame and all that stuff at the same time. So it was like you had like closer relationships in a way. And it was just so weird to just be like sitting right next to Cop. He's like my roommate. And after this, I got to still room with him for like the next like 4 months and be like, no, I don't want to play with Cop anymore. Wow. Yeah, I just think we can get a better AD carry. Yeah, Piglet forgiven. Yeah, somebody like that. Yeah, no, that sounds great. Yep. All right. Okay, next person. Like that was literally the conversation just in front of everyone's face. So like when I hear like these like secret, like that's well mannered to me. Telling your fucking owner like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Because we had to fucking go through that whole shit in front of each other. And not only that, we had to say how much we made to each other. We were like saying like our salaries and shit. That's like, okay,
super illegal to do that in front of your owner. I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, I mean, it was like now. On our own.
I know.
It was on our own like volition, but Jesus fucking Christ. It was like, well, Voy makes 9K a month. Like, how much do you make, Dom? You make 4.5K a month. Well, shit, like you still want to keep him? I'm like, yeah, I think it's fine. Like it was some crazy shit, dude. Like it was the wild west out there in season 4.
Damn, that sounds like Survivor and Tribal Council. Like
yeah,
at the end of the day, where you all have to put in a vote about like who you want out of the island.
Yeah, we all dressed in like tiki outfits and stuff, like just leaves covering only our balls. And we're just talking about each other. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, anyways, to get back to C9, that conversation is usually had like right after you don't make it out of the world. So someone had to go up to Jack and someone had to tell him like, yeah, I don't want to play with the bot lane anymore.
What the fuck? Their bot lane was inting the entire split. Of course they didn't want to play with you anymore. That's just how it works. Like you int for long enough, like your team just loses respect for you. You know? This is what it is. They played bad this split. The people that were playing well didn't want to play with the people that were playing like shit.
Yeah, I did find it surprising that it felt like public sentiment was like, oh, I can't believe they would say that about Sneaky or whatever, you know, that's not cool. And yes, I get it. I really liked, again, I hit on it earlier at the beginning of offseason. I liked the tweets that Sneaky was saying that it's undue hate that was coming his way. It was a lot of hate coming his way. And his view of a team is sticking together and being able to continue and to improve. Those are all fantastic things. But if you've lost the trust of your teammates that you can do that you want to stick together, maybe they felt like he didn't want to stick together either, that's when those kind of conversations happen. And I feel like, you know, everyone went defending Sneaky right away, like, oh, how maybe he wasn't holding up his end of the bargain. You know,
he's just popular. So like when a super popular player starts going under heat like that, he's gonna get a lot of like people backing him up. Also, he's had like good accomplishments for Cloud9. I mean, overall, I don't feel like this necessarily like is bad for the top side or the bot side of old C9. Yeah. I feel like when the trust is lost in teams like this, it could be good to just get new players in there, get like a new foundation, and you could definitely see a world where Sneaky's doing well on like 100 Thieves if he potentially goes there, and Sven and Vulcan are actually doing well on C9 too, and like both teams are stronger as a result. Like I don't think it's inherently negative. It's just like once the trust is lost between certain players, there's no way to like ever get that back, in my opinion.
Also, what's wrong with calling out people at the end of the year if you have greater aspirations and greater ambitions than not getting out of groups, like actually winning NA? Like there are going to be problems within the team, and I think like people are just so against NA, like kicking popular players. And being like, oh, why aren't you giving them a second shot? But if it was Niski, if it was Licorice, and they have higher ambition, I think it's completely normal thing to do.
It's just like, what do you think that Licorice is thinking when he's playing at Worlds, right? And he's playing Aatrox versus Vlad, and he's solo killing Wonder versus G2. And it's like, damn, I'm like 4-0, I'm popping off. Like Kiana is like inting too. Blabber's doing well. Yeah, Grabs is fucking losing his mind backstage and all this shit. And then fucking Casio is just 0-7 bot lane. You have your AD carry playing a 0-7 Casio bot lane. You think that Licorice ends that game? He's like, yeah, my bad, guys. I should have carried that one. I had a lead, you know? Like the Zyra Khan that came to my lane with 2 items at 12 minutes. Yeah, I mean, that was an issue, but you know, if I just was more intelligent about predicting the roam, I would have been able. It's like, what the fuck? No, my bot lane inted, I lost. That's what it is. It's the same shit as solo queue. Like, go to TF Blade stream and you'll literally just hear what Licorice was probably thinking in the Worlds game.
Also in the Griffin game where he was playing Fiora, he's split pushing, people get caught mid-side, he has to teleport. Like, and they have Baron and they break the 1-4 because people are getting caught. Yeah, of course he'd be extremely frustrated.
Yeah, of course. Dude, he's fucking Fiora. He's Fiora, man. And he's like 3 items with Baron buff. Oh, man, all we have to do, and there's no way they can get caught too, right? We got Tom Kench mid lane. They have Sona for disengage. There's no way they could ever. Oh, never mind. A whole team's caught and we just lost the game. What the fuck is he supposed to think, dude? It was his bot lane's fault that he lost. And I mean, if he saw like, not only is he seeing them getting shit on stage, he's also seeing them get shit on in scrims for like a huge amount of time too, probably. So of course it's going to wear on you eventually, and you just lose confidence. It's like C9 was a mid jungle top team for the whole fucking summer split. And like, it was mainly just mid jungle, and then Licorice kind of stepped up towards the end. But there's no way that if they continued at that same level of bot lane play, they'd be able to win a championship. It's just not possible.
Mm-hmm. And as much as I love my boy, definitely, he wasn't going to be that answer either, right? He wasn't going to int, you know, he wasn't going to be.
No, we weren't even going to mention that.
Who?
We weren't even going to talk about that.
Who are you talking about? Dude?
The last guy that played for Cloud9 that has 100% win percentage possible. Also,
isn't that Heimerdinger one trick from like season 8? Like,
who's fantastic mid laner, fantastic bot laner. But I think the big thing was that the Licorice and Deftly and Zazel all had that old United synergy, and I've heard stories of Licorice being, as much as knowing how competitive Deftly can be, how competitive Zazel be, Licorice was the most competitive out of all of them, and I can see him voicing that opinion, and then now being one of those centerpieces that Cloud9's going to move forward with after moving on from Sneaky.
It's weird to go off of Twitch chat, but Jack said like Licorice is my son, like no one touched Licorice, and from what was talked about in like trade rumors, Licorice was the only player not on the table, so he must have had a strong voice, and he's a player, like you said, C9 views as like a franchise player, and they went out of their way to make the top side of the map happy. They spent 1.5 million on Vulcan.
I see that, and I just like can't even believe it. I saw that same report, and it's like, that's so crazy that because think about like, okay, so that's Vulcan's buyout. How much do you think Vulcan's making?
So
not that much.
That's the thing though.
Yeah, not even close to that much, but like what?
If you have a player with an extremely high salary, their buyout will be lower. But one reason Vulcan's buyout is so high is his salary is probably like jacked.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, damn, imagine how Vulcan feels when he's like getting like, what, like 250K, maybe like 200K, 250K. Like, you got to remember last year he was just a complete rookie coming straight from academy. There's no way he was getting a top contract. Like, maybe he made like 125K or 150K last year, and then now this year he's making 250, 300. it's like that sounds like a great deal, and then you hear like, oh, $1.5 million buyout. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like that's like 5 years of my time to make that money back.
Jack has never like bought players that highly. Like he has never bought a player for like this kind of expensive amount, even like considering market. When he bought Impact from NRG, it was on the cheaper end. When he bought Rush from TIP, it was on the cheaper end. So I was shocked that it was C9 spending this kind of dollars, because Jack is someone that's very, very budget conscious.
It's just crazy that this is like their all-out move. You know, it's like if you had 1.5 million, it's crazy that you spend that 1.5 million on Vulcan. Obviously, plus a contract, you're probably spending close to $2 million for your support position. Where it's like, I'm surprised that he couldn't have just like either kept Zeyzal or like snatched another player of like that same skill level. Also, I don't know, like Vulcan is definitely good, right? He's a talented young support. He was rookie last year. He showed a lot of promise, did decently. I mean, his Worlds performance wasn't especially good, but over, like, I would say he had a pretty successful year, about as the best as you can expect from a rookie. But at what point did he become like so much more valuable than Zeyzal, Smoothie, Biofrost, Core JJ? Like what, like, is he better than any of those people I just mentioned? I put him like in the same tier as some of them. Maybe Zeyzal's a little bit worse based off summer performance, but like I just don't know if he's worth the money. Like I would have liked to see like what they could have done if they just spent that money trying to get like a different AD carry.
So Double on Hotline League said he's the second best support after Core JJ in North America by the end of Worlds.
I could see that.
I went back and checked our support tier list. I had him at 4 and you had him at 5, and like Zyrene had him at 5, and I didn't check Daniels because it's meaningless.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Jesus.
Vulcan is like someone that I do think should be highly rated. He's someone that can play engage supports. Like, remember, Lyra was playing shit like Lee Sin, Skarner. He wasn't playing primary engage a lot of times, so Vulcan had to engage even on stuff like Braum. He played a lot of Leona, Nautilus, All-Star. So I do think he is someone that's going to be good. I'm just shocked that the 1.5 million is a thing. It is a little softened because he probably sold the EG package, and maybe the entirety of the EG package was more than 1.5 mil. That's why Jack felt okay doing this. So
yeah, no, definitely. I definitely am taking that into consideration. Yeah, that's 100% what it is, but still, like, that's so much money. Like, when you sell the EG package, right, it's just like, okay, I have 1.5 million, probably like close to $2 million to spend. What am I going to spend that on? It's crazy that it's like, oh, I want to spend like $3 million on the bot lane of Sven and Vulcan. Like, that's fucking nuts to me.
Well,
I feel like there's
and
like,
the other,
you've got an import slot too. So
and the other crazy thing is that Vulcan's contract that just got sent over was only for a year. Maybe it's a sign-in trade. Maybe it's something where it's like, yeah, we'll only accept this trade if he's willing to sign for 3 years. Like, Jack likes to get players for 3-year contracts. He'll give them the money back end of the contract, so that when it's like, yeah, it's time to move this player, or time to move on, someone else has to pay the rest of the guaranteed money. It's usually, I think, a lot of his contracts are 3-year contracts. So it's a very expensive move for a very young player that has a lot of upside, and we've seen it, and he was able to achieve that potential during the World's run. So an aggressive play here by Cloud9, to say the least, for the bottom side of the map from Vulcan. What are our thoughts on Sven coming over? Again,
I think he'll be better.
Yeah, I think this is a great environment for him, right? Because he's playing with 4 players that are pretty aggressive. Like, Niski is always looking to like fight in lane. If you watch the play style and the mentality of Niski, he's like somebody that is not afraid of trading. He likes like a bunch of melee champions mid. He was really good on Sylas, Aurelia, Kiana. Like, that was like his wheelhouse, right? And then you pair that with like Blabber and Licorice, which are always like, it feels like this is just going to be like a dive heavy team top where they're just going to play top side, and it's going to be up to like Sven and Vulcan to just like chill bot and like do whatever. And then Sven isn't going to be pressured to like carry the fucking game in the same way. Like, he can be almost like he was on G2, where he's just follow up AD carry. And that's always been his best style. Like, he was never insanely good aside from being on Kalista. He was never super good at like diving into the enemy team and maximizing damage. He's just not that style of AD carry. He's not going to like he'll just get caught and die by something when he tries to play aggressive sometimes. Like, that's just how I feel about him. Like, he just isn't the best at having the vision through the team fight like somebody like Uzi to be able to predict, hey, like, these are the major skills I need to dodge. Like, I'm going to like sidestep this, flash this one, and I'm going to continue doing damage. He's just good at like being like backline, like the team's like, all right, we're going. Licorice like Kled ults in, like Blabber like runs in, and then he just sits in the back and just hits whoever's in front. Like, I feel like that's just a good style for Sven.
So for Zben, kind of his two caveats is he always played with strong solo laners, Soaz, Peke, Perks, Expect, and then he also played with Mithy. So that was kind of his conditions for him to be successful. And I think on TSM, he played under so much pressure. Pressure from himself, like he wanted to be the first player to win both LCS and LEC. And he also, I mean, he thinks really highly of himself. Even when TSM was kind of in the gutter in summer, I remember when the Rogue is better than TSM comment was made, Zben said, like, just look at the players on Rogue. I could 1v5 this shit.
Yep.
So, and also there is pressure of playing within TSM and not delivering the results.
Yeah, that's one thing that Svenskeren said when he left TSM for C9. I feel like he's going to be kind of similar to how Svenskeren like played a lot more comfortably on C9. The environment of C9 is like, all right, guys, like let's just go out there and give it our best, and like whatever happens, happens. And like TSM is like, all right, just make sure you don't fucking lose when you go out there, all right? This is a multi-million-dollar brand, and we don't want to be embarrassed in front of all these fucking people. Now go make me some fucking money. And it's like Reggie's like just goes back to the fucking like player room after. I don't know. I just feel like the environment for C9 allows for players that can be affected by pressure to thrive.
So yeah, on C9, I do think the environment is going to be much better, and it's going to be a chance for Zben to reinvent himself. And also, one thing I will say is, if Zben had a choice of going to NA or staying in NA or going back to Europe, I'd imagine his choice is going back to Europe. So the fact that he's staying on Cloud9 is he probably didn't get absolute top tier offers from European teams.
Oh, 100%, dude. Which out of all the European teams, like who would offer him? Like maybe Rogue. It's like when you're even though Hansam had a pretty fucking bad year with Misfits, it'd be weird to be like, oh, like Sven is probably more expensive than Hansama. It's like, is he a tier better than Hansama? Is he like somebody that's notably better after what we've just seen from him in NA? I don't know. I feel like I don't think Sven is bad. I think he's better than he's shown in the last couple of years. But I just think that going into it, you can't really have the value placed on him that you had before he came to NA. Like you have to, like if he joined LEC, I feel like it would be on like a 6th to 10th place team.
Yeah, so he's going to be humbled by the 2 years he spent on TSM. And he's also going to be humbled by the offseason of not getting the offers that he wanted. So it's going to be a fresh start.
I feel like he's going to Cloud9. It's not like he's going to Golden Guardians or he's going to FlyQuest that's in the middle of a rebuild and coming after somebody. He's going to a top NA team that has a legacy, a fan base, worlds every year. Like, does it feel bad that he's not going back to Europe on a top team? Like, do you think he? Well,
it's just that he's not like a star on this team. Really, he's like, when you look at this roster, it's like the people that have been performing the best recently. It's like you have Licorice and Niski. Niski had the best year of his career last year. Licorice has always been one of the best tops in NA since he's joined LCS. Like he was just immediately always good. And then Blabber is like this player that's shown like a lot. Like he's not really a rookie because he's played like games in LCS for the last like year and a half, but he hasn't played. Never had like a full split to himself. So he has like a lot of hype behind him too. And I feel like it allows Sven to just kind of chill. Like it's not like everyone's going to be looking at Sven like, what the fuck is he going to do? He has a pretty good support. He can just like relax and like play his game, go back to the basics and just like, yeah, now that the pressure is off, it's kind of like how when he came into Origin, he was just like the only new member, right? It was Mithy, it was amazing, it was Peke, it was Soaz, like that was the original Origin lineup, and it was like, who is this guy? Oh, like he wasn't even supposed to be like the star of that team, but he ended up overperforming. I feel like he's just one of those players that when the pressure is off, he'll just perform his best.
Yeah, I think it's just a really good environment for him. So he either makes it here, or his career is going to be so fucked if he can't make it on C9. And C9 is also a team, if you're not doing well, they'll get a sub for you very, very quickly. They're not the kind of team to just sit around.
All right. Well, that's the bot lane was Sven. Blabber, Sven. And now it's just Blabber. Is there going to be another young jungler coming in and filling the spot behind Blabber? Or is this now Blabber's team?
This is Blabber. Blabber's got a spot now, I think. That's how I see it. He's got a LCS spot. He's got like at least a split to show what he's worth. Like it's about time.
All right, Dom, where do you think he ends in like terms of level of junglers at the end of spring? Like top 3, top 2. Where do you have Blabber?
I think he's really good. Honestly, I think he's really good. I'm like a huge Blabber fanboy, so I think he'll end top 3.
Top 3.
Yep.
All right. I'm trying to think who I would put above Svenskeren.
Yep. Svenskeren could be better.
Broxa.
Broxa could be better, but it's like Broxa's team is just going to be better. It feels like so. It'll be kind of like the Xmithy thing where it's like you gotta say Xmithy's better, but not by much. Also, Brox is normally good against jungling. Besides for that last series that he played, he's normally good against jungling against aggressive people. Like he kind of like
your boy Dardoch.
I think that he'll probably be like I think that theoretically going into it, like the best 3 mechanical junglers should be Dardoch, Svenskeren, Blabber, and then like
Brox is good mechanically.
He's good mechanically, but like only on certain champs, which like that kind of takes away from how I view your like overall mechanics. I guess it's like if you have a really good Lee Sin, but you can't play like other picks that other people can play. Not sure if it's like all mechanics or you're kind of like super strong mechanically. Like the only champion that Brox's mechanics impressed me on consistently is Lee Sin.
What were we talking about? Top 3 mechanics or top 3 junglers?
Top 3 junglers overall.
Where was Xmithy? What? No one said it. No one talked.
I mean, I think that Xmithy is going to be on a worse team, and I think that he's been falling off a bit as a player. I think he's like smart, but I don't think that he'll be able to like compete. Like for example, at Worlds, I thought that Xmithy played worse than Blabber already, and that's just like the first time we saw him. And I think Blabber was like playing against pretty stiff competition in terms of jungle, Yankos and Tarzan. Like,
all right. So I personally think Blabber will be somewhere around 4 or 5, so it'll be interesting to see. We don't need to make a bet, but I know you love Blabber, and I think Blabber needs a little bit of like actual full-time play to get a really good grasp on where he is. And jungle pool for NA, like the inclusion of Broxa and the inclusion of Dardoch is going to make it much tougher than what it was.
I mean, I think the other thing that I consider is like how they're going to function in the team environment. And I feel like if Blabber was on a team of like rookies or unaccomplished players that like, where it's just like he's kind of has to like be the star and carry them, I feel like he's prone to like throwing mid to late game. Like he's prone to getting caught. He plays super aggressive, but his huge strength is early game. And when you have people that are used to winning, like obviously Licorice and Niski, like they normally, well, at least recently they've been like top 3 team both splits, top 2 last split. And Sven has like a decent pedigree. He's been a champion before. He's won 4 splits. I feel like those types of people can like rein Blabber in, and it can be like, all right, go out there and get us a fucking lead, Blabber. And then once he gets them the lead, everyone else can chill out and like play the game normally.
All right, Blabber, Elise, go.
Yeah, that's what I want to see out of Blabber. You know, like I've always thought he's best when he's playing like Jarvan, Camille, Elise, like Nocturne in the fucking early days, just like going super ham, looking for kill opportunities. His biggest strength is that he sees kill windows that other junglers just aren't able to see. That's his biggest strength as a player, and that's
I think sometimes other junglers see it too, but they don't have kind of the balls or like the maybe naivety to go for it. But Blabber always goes for it and makes it work.
Yeah, well, so I mean, if other people see the windows and they don't take it, plays that he selects to go for, he goes for a lot of plays that other people wouldn't have gone for, and like is able to execute pretty well on them. So, yeah.
Dang, jungler's just so stacked right now. We haven't even touched on Closer that is come on in from.
I think he's super overrated, but
from the TCL, the
let's
champion
of
Turkey. Yeah, we'll get to Golden Guardians.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Niski and Licorice. Well, how do you think they'll do? Those 2 solo lanes.
We talked about them, didn't we?
We did. We didn't talk about how this is going to.
We talked about how they killed our boy Sneaky. That's the only way we mentioned this.
No, I said that they were going to be a strong topside. Like they have yeah. I think that they're just going to be a topside focused team. Bot lane's going to have to just chill and survive, and Blabber's just going to be diving top and mid over and over again.
I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Niski and Licorice because of the whole Sneaky thing. And also now Svenskeren is gone. Like Niski and Licorice are actually the most senior members on Cloud9, and they're going to have to lead Blabber. Holy shit.
Blabber? Holy, okay. All right.
They're going to have to lead Blabber because he is still a very green face to the LCS. So I'm very curious how Niski and Licorice will do. I think Licorice will do fine, and I think this is the first time where we get to see Niski without Svenskeren on more of a full-time basis. So he really shows himself as like a top-tier player, or we'll see where things go. Because like one caveat that a lot of people had about Niski last split is he looks really good, but he's playing with Svenskeren. Like this time, he's not playing with Svenskeren, so it's really his time to shine.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I mean, I was just thinking about the name Bladderfish and how much more gross that name is than Blabberfish.
Right,
I was trying to listen to
Daniel,
Loco the whole time, but you kept smiling, dude.
Next team, Daniel, do your host job. Next team.
Is okay, next team. Yeah, there's no more points to be made here. Bladderfish 2020 coming towards you. All right. So, new alphabetical order means that Dignitas is up. They would have come in on this place anyways because Clutch, Dignitas, same alphabetical order.
Can you put Phoenix in mid? That's the rumor that it's going to be Huni Phoenix.
Okay, so that's why I put the question marks there. Holy moly. All right, so Dignitas, the world's representative for North America. It was them. This was our third best team with that roster on the left. You see there, Huni, Lyra, Demonte, Cody's son, and Vulcan. The big change they made, the only change they made was moving on from Dom's former teammate, Loco's former pupil, Piglet, and all of a sudden, coaching change as well. And then Artemis now taking control of the squad and heading to Worlds. Now, it looks like there are a bunch of sold-off parts that don't know who fits where. Phoenix is the rumored in the mid lane, but
it's crazy their model. So what ended up happening is they actually aren't going to play with a jungle mid or support because they spent too much money on Huni. They spent $2.3 million on a laner, so they're actually just going to play 2v5. So we'll have to see if that ends up working out or not. But generally speaking, I think that having a mid laner and support could be nice.
So, one small correction. Daniel said Artemis took head coach role. Thinkcard actually took head coach role, and Artemis got moved up from academy coach to assistant coach of LCS.
Okay.
So, yeah, where to go with this roster? I mean, I feel like they kind of sold their future. Demonte and Vulcan and Cody were their young NA players. That was their these are the next people up. And they got rid of Demonte, so Huni can flex mid if he wants to. And they sold off Vulcan to sign Huni for 2 years, 2.3 mil guaranteed. So you just took all the pieces that were good for you in the future and you doubled down on Huni.
I mean,
I don't know.
I guess you can do that if you want. I feel like it's crazy considering that Huni was only good for such a small portion of the year, right? I would say from week 6 to the end of Worlds was when Huni looked human, but before that it was just really, really bad from Huni. He was just getting killed all the time by
really
everyone.
Bad. And it wasn't until they
terrible for if you take the year, right? For 75% of the year he looked bad, and then he only looked good recently. So I feel like all inning on him is so weird right now.
But do you remember it was actually when they rebranded, it was okay, we're gonna go with these yellow and black colors. And then they used Huni as the model. When they used Huni as the model and did that little photo shoot with him banging his chest and up against the wall, we had the episode where you need to coddle this player. He needs to feel like he's being played around. He needs to feel like he's the guy. And then that's when you get the Huni that we're so used to seeing of Echo Fox, the Huni that we're so used to seeing Immortals, SKT, Fnatic. And that's when the play picked up. Here, they pay him a ton of money, but I'm not sure if that's necessarily what he needs to get back to top form.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's just not enough to see here. We don't. The only player that's confirmed is Huni, right? We don't know 4 out of the 5 players potentially. So, I mean, if it is Cody
Phoenix, potentially Cody.
Yeah, but then it's okay. So if you bring in Phoenix, Phoenix is not resident anymore, right? Because didn't he take off a split, or how does it work?
I think he should be resident going forward. I'm 100% not sure on this.
Yeah.
But one thing that's that Travis talked about as a rumor is Huni wants to swap. And so I actually went back and checked Phoenix, his match history.
He's playing only top lane.
He's been playing mixture of top lane and mid lane. So
mid Huni.
Okay, Phoenix is a resident.
I got a quick cut right off the press here from our official Riot content creation specialist from EU, Chakrez. This is the future Dignitas roster on your screen. All Huni from different angles. I don't know how they did that, but Huni's fit in to play every single role.
Damn, what the fuck?
That was really good Photoshop, Chakrez. If you did that on the fly, it's pretty good.
What if Riot makes you take photos from all 5 angles? So he probably had all 5 assets, and then he just stitched them together.
Oh, look at the. Never mind. Look at the Dignitas photo. Dignitas logo. It's just squished.
Yeah. But yeah, the Phoenix and Huni one, oh my god. I just think this is going to be an expensive disaster. And
Yeah.
I really hate stuff like this for LCS because when a team makes a move like this and then they kind of fuck it up for all the investors, like all the investors that are investing into Dignitas, once this shit fucks up, once they realize we spent 2.3 mil on a player for 2 years guaranteed and we're the laughing stock of the league and we're not even good, those investors are not going to be happy at all. They're going to think like, what the fuck is going on here? And they might want to pull out of investing into esports and investing into LCS. And that's such a bad look for everyone involved. So I really hate the Huni move. And I really fucking hate what Dignitas is doing.
I feel like Clutch has always been bad at building rosters before the year. Like, none of their rosters have ever looked good coming in. It's like last year you felt the same way about the roster, right? It's like, oh, Lyra, Huni, Piglet.
We'll go
Vulcan
all Korean
and
roster,
Demonte.
and then
Yeah,
Demonte and Vulcan will just become best friends.
It's super weird. And then before that, they had like the Apollo, Hakuho, with like Solo on the team. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it was super strange to me. I just don't.
Players they invest into kind of don't pan out for them. Febibin, Piglet, who else? Lyra.
Lyra is the only one that like really survived, right? From 2017, 2018 to 2019.
Yeah. I mean, and we saw how that turned out. So.
He was their worst player by far until
until Worlds, pretty much.
Three champ pool. That's it. You played three champs. That's it. Skarner.
Yeah, Skarner, and Skarner. That was his champ pool.
Just what they're doing, I think it's terrible roster building, and it's going to affect the entire league negatively. Be more responsible, Dignitas. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, people were tweeting about the money. It's just like, you spend that much money, there's no way that you're getting a return on it. Like, especially with the fact that league viewership is like lower than it was in LCS, like in season like 5, season 4, etc. It's like, how do you have the money to play? Like, fucking 1.2 million was like the cost of like 4 different like or like 5 different fucking LCS rosters in season 4, and now you just have like that on just one player who's not even that good. Like, there's no way that you're actually going to see a positive return on investment.
Dude, like 2.3 mil, like just a few years ago, you could have bought an LCS slot, operated, and paid all the players for the year.
Yep.
So, and now it's just a single player salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, that you ask the question all the time, can this player be a top player in the region? What does that cost? And Dignitas believe that they can. And it's in the premium role of top lane. Like, you have to pay for a top laner, for a North American, or for a top laner to be elite. I think you have to pay that for an impact. They feel like they have that in Huni. Now you assume you got to import in the mid lane, right? Is Phoenix NA? Is he
He's
soon
resident?
Yeah,
he's resident.
Shakareds said he's resident, and I trust Shakareds.
All right. So again, where do you go then? Say you lock in Phoenix here. Where do you go with your import?
Korean
Is it
jungle,
the jungle?
For sure, Korean jungle.
That didn't work out before.
No, they have to. They have to. With Huni Phoenix,
it didn't work out before because you had Lyra. I mean, Lyra's a fucking dude. You might like he's just like an old NA player at this point. That's how he looked. He's like an old, like worn down mechanic, like NA jungler.
There's someone actually that's giga obvious. Peanut.
Oh wait, did Peanut? I thought Peanut stayed with Gen G, or he left.
No, Gen G got Clid and BDD. We'll talk about that. But Peanut, Peanut for sure. Ooh, that's actually a really good one.
Peanut Huni are friends too.
Damn, yeah, and Peanut Huni from SKT.
That could be good. That could be all right, I guess.
Oh, it'll be even more expensive. Oh my god, this is. Oh my god,
wow.
This is going to be bad for the league.
That's so sad that they're going to actually end up spending all this money just to get 5th place in NALCS. It's quite sad.
It's a stretch too. I mean,
yeah, I could see it being like 5th, 6th, something like around there.
That's so scary. That's so scary spending this much money to be like not in like our lose in semifinals condition. You're the like you might get into playoffs condition.
Yeah, I mean, they're more Korean biased than Loco at this point. Like they're just like any Korean will fucking like get us to Worlds. Like how can we not be the best? We have the best Koreans. These guys made it to the World Championship Finals like 2 years ago at this point. Like I don't know, man.
The other name people are mentioning is Rush. That's actually possible. Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
No way,
also.
dude. Rush's reputation is like in shambles.
Yeah, it's just so
in
dog
shambles.
Shit.
Like there's no way.
No, like okay, Dignitas player. I think Dignitas is gonna be a very player-run team. If Phoenix or Huni, once they're signed on, they're like, we want Rush. You don't think it happens?
Yeah, but like,
who's the GM for Dignitas?
GM left. Their GM went to EG.
Yeah,
it was
Andrew Barton,
and then
who's
he went to
so
EG.
good at responding to interviews. He's so good. Just anyway. So who is it right now? Do we know? Dig GM.
No idea.
2019.
I don't think it's gonna randomly show up on your Google search, but yeah,
All right.
like their jungle is. I don't think there's any good player for them to pick up, and they're gonna go expensive Korean route. It's just this roster is just gonna get more and more expensive.
Shoot. Let's see. Yeah, because again, it just feels like even if you move on over, it's Bakery.
Shaka, who the fuck is Bakery?
Bakery is a longtime Heroes of the Storm.
Wait, isn't he the
player.
Heroes of the Storm player?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
wait,
he's
what?
moved to management within Dignitas for the past 2 years, I believe. I think it was.
Yeah, I always liked that guy. That guy played support, right?
Yes.
Didn't he play?
Yes.
What was the champion that's like Lee Sin in Heroes of the Storm, but it's a support? Fuck, whatever that champion is. That's what he played.
Is it a monk hero?
Yeah, it's like a monk hero.
Okay.
Come on, HOTS. We have to have at least one HOTS player in our thousands of viewers. Any HOTS players?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Karazim.
Oh, Karazim. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he played.
How
He
the
played that.
fuck do you know this? Oh my god.
Because I played Heroes of the Storm for a little bit.
Because in 2017, I was looking for a new job. Thanks, Riot. And so I looked into HOTS and I was like, nope, that's not the right direction. But Bakery was renownedly beloved in that community by Dignitas when he got his move into Dignitas. There were a lot of upvotes and stuff. So
Well, he can't be that smart. Now we know. Now we have a name, and a face to who did the 2.3 mil.
All right, Bakery, welcome to the League of Legends community. Unless you guys make
Here, you got
playoffs, you're about to
flamed.
get flamed. Actually, you're just gonna get flamed until you make playoffs. Like that's
Even when you
that's
make
just how it
playoffs,
is.
like, dude, I've been flaming people. Like, I've been flaming Ligo like for over. They almost made playoffs, so like you're just not safe.
Yeah, a lot of question marks here for this roster. Let's take a look at the support role then. Who's left open right now at support, not signed with the team that could fit in? You've got Ole, who is taking fielding questions right now, and Ole is not a resident.
It's like Ole, Wadid, Stunt, Afro.
Kuhi,
Diamond.
That's right. the
Diamond
Cloud9
should be.
Diamond.
Oh,
OTG.
Tuflin. That's actually one. Oh my god, they could go double Korean. They could actually have. Oh no, they
You
can
can't
only
go
have one
Korean in all the
Yeah.
roles.
Yeah, they can't go 4 Korean yet. Huni isn't a resident yet.
Yeah.
Oh, they could go Huhi Peanut. That actually works.
Oh
Huhi
God!
is Korean.
Please don't
Damn.
play Huhi as a support. Just please.
Poor
I'm
Cody
so
son. Poor
man.
Cody son,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
And again, Cody is not currently confirmed for this roster. Let me look at the.
Yeah, he's not confirmed. The only
dude,
person that's confirmed is Huni. Even Phoenix Cody's son is just like rumors and speculation.
No. Cody. Well, contract-wise, Cody's son is under contract with Dignitas for next year. So they have him and their dominant academy top laner Rodolph.
Something just released 20 minutes ago. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Xmithy is officially on Immortals. It was what was predicted, but it's now official.
Okay.
So can add that when we get to that.
Okay,
Alright.
cool. No
Let's
question
move on
marks
from
around.
this. Enough shitting on Dignitas.
I just kind of feel like this is a broken roster, and they're waiting to get their pieces. To be
You know
honest,
what's
like your 4 Korean idea doesn't sound that bad.
You know what's ironic? Dignitas is the number 1 search result. If you look up Dignitas, the number 1 search result is an assisted suicide clinic.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing. This is like assisted suicide of an organization.
All right, I am moving on from this conversation.
all
We're
right.
going.
Thank you, Monty,
leaving
for the fun fact.
Dignitas,
Good one, Loka.
Go into then another new franchise coming on to the organization. They had a pretty fire CEO centric video about being evil. It's Evil Geniuses. EG now made their first big move by signing Svenskeren that came along with
Whoa, why is
Diesel and
Phoenix
Diamond.
in the mid lane? Take him off.
Those question marks.
Mhm.
Because of Echo Fox. That's
Okay.
why. Jeez.
So Phoenix and Solo are released from their contract. So they shouldn't even be on the list for projected, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mine was just because it's like.
I mean, we have
Solo
no
was there.
idea about mid or or top, really. It's just like what Svenskeren, Bang, and Zeyzal. It's probably what it's going to be.
So the 3 players that are Jacob Wolf confirmed are Svenskeren, Bang, and Zeyzal. So I think it'll be those 3. And definitely won't start now that they have Bang.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I guess it's just who you can fill this roster. And, like, if you have this team, Svenskeren should have gained residency, right?
Yeah, he's a resident.
Yeah, so now you got residency, so you can import a mid here and then just get an NA top. I feel like import mid with like Kumo or solo top is actually a pretty decent roster, but I think it's like a 4 or 5 roster probably.
So there has been a little bit of a clue in terms of what their import situation might look like. So Tyler, Fion, the esport writer, tweeted something and then he instantly deleted it. But it was a Korean flag, a Danish flag, an American flag, a Korean flag, and then an American flag. So I did all the, what is it?
So that just means Korean mid laner and a top laner, probably.
No. It means,
Big
so I did,
Loco-Doco.
no, it's Korean top, Danish jungle, NA mid, Korean bottom, and American support. And the only team that can meet that is EG. So according to Fion's clue, which was now deleted, it's going to be a Korean import top lane and an American solo laner.
Okay. So an American mid laner, which means it could be Pobelter,
Demonte.
That's it.
Funny enough, Pobelter has like
Soligo.
a little bit of a Soligo, I guess.
Oh yes, Ligo's still hanging by a thread.
Pobelter has a little bit of a history with EG from way long ago when EG was in LCS. Pobe used to be the mid lane. But I do think it's more likely that it's Demonte.
Are there any
I don't know, man.
any mids that I'm missing?
That's it. Soligo, Pobe, Demonte.
I just don't have Demonte. I don't have confidence that Demonte can be like on a real top team. You know, like even though they made top 3 with Dignitas, etc., it feels like every other top tier mid will just always be better than him at like all the control mages and stuff like that. Like if we get into a meta where it's like Syndra, Orianna, like that style of champion, I just can't see a world where like Demonte can compete.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because the other thing is that this team's branding, they're kind of like TL, but evil. They are very professional. Oh. They try to win in basically every single game they compete in, and they spend a lot of money. So that's their branding. TL, but evil. So they did that in Dota. They did that in CSGO. They did that in Rainbow Six. And then they're going to do that again in LCS. Their branding has stayed consistent. The evil CEO lady did the video, talked to us about how NA-LCS is a disease and how they're going to be the cure. So yeah, they want to be competitive and they want to fight for championships from the get-go.
This is pretty good. Scuffed to G2. I like this one, chat. That's what Evil Geniuses wants to be. Yeah, but I feel like if you have to go NA mid laner, Dom already hit it on the head. Like, that's not really evil if you're going NA mid lane.
I just don't like fucking NA mid laner. Like, that just sounds scary to me. Like, we just don't have good mid laners here. Like, I'm telling you, man, you go play a EU solo queue in Challenger, and it's like, you'll just get like a bunch of these random fucks where it's like, who the fuck is this guy? Well, I don't know, but he's 900 LP. He's pretty fucking good. Like, you just never feel like that in NA. It's like, I guess Julian's all right some of the time. Like, I don't know. You never feel like you have a good mid laner here.
I will say, again, another stretch, and you can flame me like you flame me for the definitely, theories, but they did have the first pick overall in Scouting Grounds, and they did pick
No,
Cannibal.
don't fucking dare. Don't you fucking
Cannibal.
Dare push Radiance. Don't you dare
throwing
fucking
that
push
one out
Radiance
there.
Here.
Cannibal is the truth.
No.
In
Oh
like
my
4
fucking
years.
God.
He's very
There's a
young.
higher chance I go back to TSM and coach than Caddy Ball starts for this team.
No, he won't start, but I could see like him potentially becoming better than like one of these other guys, like during the year. I could see that happening. I could see him becoming better than like fucking like. I don't think the Demonte bar is like that unachievable.
I'd be shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I have never ever like seen a single game of Caddy Ball. I didn't watch.
Wait, what?
But in my expert opinion,
I don't play against him in solo queue.
This is worse than when he predicted fucking Gigabyte Marines to get out of fucking group stage this year. Holy shit!
This is worse when he predicted G2 to win, right?
Dude, oh my god, this is my biggest fucking trigger. This is my super big fucking trigger. This is literally 2019. You want to know 2019 culture? It's people that were raised on like Wikipedia and shit like that and never actually had to do any research for themselves, but they want to fucking have an opinion on everything no matter what. So they just copy somebody else's opinion, or they just. No,
this is my own opinion. I don't know Cattyvault, but I've seen most NA myths. He has to be someone exceptionally special to skip Academy and go straight into being better than LCS. From amateur level, skipping Academy into LCS, like he has to be like a prodigy level player.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll skip. It's like I said, I think he can play Academy and eventually like get a spot if DeMonte like is really into it or something like that.
Oh God. Oh my God. I can't see that.
I just wanted to say they drafted him first overall.
Okay.
That's all. They did actually buy another draft pick, Tomo. I don't even know who that is, a bot laner.
I have no clue who that fucking guy is.
Did he change his name?
I have no clue. I've been playing solo queue as well, but whatever.
He kind of looks like Mike Young. If Mike Young was a little bit whiter, like if Mike Young was half white.
Okay.
I need to just bear with me. Doesn't that kind of look like Mike Young if he's half white?
Mike, sorry I took your job, Young. Please tell me that Mike Young's not at the LCS. I'll be so pissed if I have to watch more of his games.
He'll be in Academy, right?
He'll be.
If he's not even in Academy. Okay.
I'm cool with him being in Academy. I really hated watching him play on Fox. Like, it made me extremely angry.
So the other rumor for top lane is Smeb.
No way!
Canner mid. Smeb's value in NA, or not NA, LCS, LCK is extremely low. No one wants Smeb. So that might be a thing. Smed and Peanut. That's
a great idea. Player that nobody wants, we just take him, and it's like, yeah, just start for our fucking team. Fuck it.
He's like, can I have some of the salary that Huni had? Sure. Our brand is spending a lot of money.
If you want to retire, LCS is great. LA is great for retirement. It's no longer Florida where you go to retire. You come to LA.
Yeah, except it's not really retiring because you're going to actually have to fucking pay income tax out the ass on your $2.3 million 2-year contract.
Yeah. But we'll see. Oh my God. People are saying Khan should join EG. The thing about like players like Khan at their absolute prime, like after they had a decent international performance, coming over to NA, they get outbid by Chinese teams, and it's not even like close. Actually, it might be close. No. As I said that, I saw Huni's 2.3 mil. I thought of that. If they're willing to pay Huni money, then EG Con could happen. But they need to pay Huni money on top of paying C9 the buyout. Flame? If Flame is coming over, then I would know. And I don't know that yet. So maybe I'll ask him after the show.
Yeah, the Korean, what is it? The Korean naturalization pack. It's Logo, Lost Boy, and Flame. Plus,
we have
K-Town.
our crew. Yeah, we have our K-Town crew. Me, Lost Boy, Reapbird. We'll invite other Koreans if you feel like they're cool enough.
I think just after looking at this roster, kind of like with the same thing with the Dignitas roster. Even though this roster is more filled out, we have to see where those two solo lane positions end up for EG before we really know where they're going to hang in terms of all of the LCS. Bang Zeyzal, that sounds like it could be a good roster. We did see some solid performances out of Bang at the end of the split, but and then Zeyzal, same thing, kind of a rocky summer for him comparatively to his whole 2018, Jack being willing to move on away from All-Star Smoothie, maybe a resurgence here with a different type of bot lane. How do you feel like with the parts that they do have, they'll do with Svenskeren, Bang, and Zeyzal?
Bang Zeyzal, I don't think it's going to work out well. I think Zeyzal isn't the best player in lane, and nor is Bang. And the combination of Bang and Zeyzal is going to be pretty weak in lane, and that's going to be a serious problem. Especially because they're using one of their import slots there, so one of the solo laners are going to be weak. So yeah,
that's so sad that that's what it is. It's like, well, if you import an AD carry, that means you have to play with an NA top or mid, which really fucking sucks for you. So
that's the truth.
Again,
holy shit.
If they're evil, evil is very close synonym to toxic. get Solo, because Solo is one of those guys that can stand up to some of the imports. I think we all had Solo at like 4 or higher.
Yeah, I had him at like 6.
Dude, it'd be a it'd be like a fucking disaster if Solo is not starting for LCS.
Really?
Well,
Yeah,
when you look across, I don't think there's.
I've heard he's like super cancer to work with. So
I worked with him. Mm-hmm. He was like enough.
How long did you work with
good
him?
What? About a year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, actually, a year and a half.
Goldcoin United.
Year and a half because of Team Liquid Academy also.
Mm-hmm.
So like as much as like we want to call him cancer or toxic, I think there is like somewhat of like him being misunderstood and the Echo Fox environment being shit. Like when he was given the right environment on Goldcoin United, he was actually a really good teammate.
Bro, I've never met one jungler that plays solo queue that enjoys playing with solo. Like he's
different in solo queue.
He is literally the most. He is like fucking his Shinshin, but actually good. But he talks like his Shinshin. But it's like what he's saying is still delusional and wrong.
Like
yeah.
He'll leash you topside, and then you'll gank bot level 3, and then he'll just die to a gank, and then just say like jungle difference, and it's like, come on, dude. Like you know that I can't be there at that time, right? Like you know that for sure.
So I had like arguments with him about that, and he got better about it. And cause we got warned from Riot if Solo like is toxic in solo queue, that he would be suspended games. Once we told him that, he didn't do that. And then at the end of the year, Riot told us Solo has been a good boy, and he's no longer on like close watch list. So maybe he went back to his old ways. But
put him on a watch list.
Yeah,
put him on a watch list with 5 fire. God damn, that guy looks like a serial killer. Shit, did you watch Scouting Grounds? Like, my God.
So I hope Solo starts. If it's for Evil Genius,
get a picture of 5 fire.
But yeah. I have good things to say about Solo despite his negative personal or public persona.
Yeah, in terms of starting spots, I guess skill, you could probably put him in front of Viper and Ruin, but then EG is an open spot. So as for Immortals, we'll get to that in a little bit. Hanser over at Golden Guardians, and then someday Huni, Licorice, Impact. Those are pretty solid. So he's like middle of the road, right? Middle of the road there in terms of position. Oh no! Please. Oh no! All right, couldn't see it. Do you want me to? Should I look it? Should we open it?
Sure, just in case they didn't know where the fucking came from.
Oh
my God!
Does he actually look like a serial killer?
When the Twitch chat was actually too funny with him. They're like, they would say like, "Holy shit! 5 fire got a kill. School is safe." Hog.
Oh my God!
Like, it was actually. It's too much.
Wow. Oh,
he's just.
I don't think he looks.
He's focused. He's focused. No, he's focused. That's all. We're moving on from this. Get me back to this one, and then we're moving on.
Okay.
You guys are making me work today. All right. So, EG will.
We're not saying these things ourselves. Like, we're just talking about facts, okay? These are stuff that other people have put out there, and we're reporting.
Facts?
Okay?
What the fuck? What? I'm not saying these are facts. I'm just saying.
No, the Dignitas one is an actual fact. You look up Dignitas, and that's an actual fact.
Oh,
that
no, I thought we were talking about
5
fire being a.
No. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Let's move on.
That part is not a fact.
Anti-toxicity. We're talking about heavy toxicity here. Anti-toxicity. We talk about FlyQuest. FlyQuest, the friendship team. They made it to the semifinals, third place game, semifinals and third place game in the spring 2019. Is it 2019?
Their mid got revealed.
Oh,
it is Ignar's old teammate, Pyre of Evil. And you know what's hilarious? Kelsey actually leaked this before fucking Jacob Wolf did.
Damn, Kelsey's out here.
Yeah, Kelsey actually leaked this shit. Let me actually show you the tweet. Daniel, see if you can put it up.
God, just link it.
No, even before ESPN. Kelsey leaked this before ESPN. She tweeted this 3 p.m. November 20.
All right, full roster there. Here, where is it? I still have
Discord.
Still have the other one up. There we go.
Jeez.
Did she really do this on purpose?
Yeah. So what is it? People know like stuff. So a lot of people knew about Golden Glue a long time ago before it happened. Especially people in that friend group know things that are going on. And then underneath, because you don't follow her, it's not showing. But Power Beeble's significant other tweeted like a smiley face underneath. So I actually didn't know Power Beeble was going to FlyQuest.
Is this his?
No, it's Andy.
Yeah,
Andy.
Right
Yeah.
here.
So yeah, I didn't know Power Beeble was going to FlyQuest, but when Kelsey made this tweet and Andy commented underneath it, I was like, holy shit, this is actually real.
Oh, this could actually be like. This is making me think Clutch is going to be just bottom tier when I see like a team like this. Yeah, because it's like there ends up being not enough spots for everyone, right? Like this team looks like it'll be pretty good, like definitely middle of the pack. And then when you have like TSM, C9, CLG, TL, like all those rosters look pretty good. It's like the rest of the rosters are just fucked, aren't they? Like 100 Thieves looks like it'll be okay. Like I don't know. I don't even know if like 100 Thieves is going to be a playoff team anymore if this is one of the rosters. And the EG roster as well, right? So it's like I feel like that is almost top 6. Like TSM, TL, C9, this team, FlyQuest, EG, and then CLG. Like that seems like that would be the top 6.
So yes, but FlyQuest is like EG is kind of sticking to their MO as they build their roster and their brand. FlyQuest is doing the same thing. They have always been a sum greater than they are greater than the sum of their parts. So if you took them all individually, I think the biggest glaring point to me is the growth of Viper. It's like, is he going to be able to break into that top half? But you've got Santorin. Power Beeble is consistent in the middle. We talked about it, 6'5", 5'4", kind of mid laner. Turtle, again, kind of consistent. When we were talking about 80 carries, we were like, all right, I guess Turtle's like 5'4", even up as high as 3 for a little while.
Hell no. When I did 80 carries, he was like 9th on mine.
Was he?
I think he was bad on everyone's.
Yeah, Turtle is extremely low on my tier list. I love you, Jason, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, he calls him Jason just to make him feel extra bad.
Yeah.
It's like, we're still friends.
Jason,
like, I just really think you suck.
But I'm
I
gonna
just
need to shit
really
talk
think you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He had a really bad last split. I thought he played pretty well in spring, but his summer was like awful. And you have to weigh summer obviously more because that's more recent.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I think that he'll play better with this type of support though. I feel like he's always been good at like playing with a Korean support, like ever since Lust Boy. It just seemed like he was good at like, hey dude, like I can follow up, like I can play the lane well. I just kind of get caught and die sometimes.
So NA supports are terrible at engaging, and also Korean supports are better at engaging. And one thing Korean supports kind of do for their AD carry is like tell them when to be careful, and they're very vocal when you need to kind of watch out. So
Jason, lol.
Yeah.
Where did I have him? I had him 8th. Okay.
That's about
I
what
had
you
him
said.
Absolute worst. Holy shit.
Jason, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, Jason. You had Sven, Lord, and Turtle. Okay, no wonder you're.
Sven was playing so bad. He was trash.
Sven was playing pretty bad, but Turtle was playing worse, I think.
Yeah.
Sven was trash. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us.
Also, the other thing is, Travis, like, talked about the rumored salaries for both Turtle and Santorin.
Mm-hmm.
His rumor, according to Travis, is 700 Turtle, 500 Santorin.
700 for Turtle?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is paying 700k for Wild Turtle? What the fuck? Oh my god, maybe I just need to quit streaming.
This isn't a Jacob
way.
Wolf
That sounds
report.
wrong. That sounds wrong.
This isn't a Jacob Wolf report, so it's not 100% guaranteed, but Travis has been pretty reliable on like some of the rumors that he's been able to talk about. So yeah, that's
reliable if he's in a good mood. Like that sounds wrong.
Bro, there's no way you can be like that level of player from last split and be paid 700k and be NA, dude. You're not even an import, you're getting 700k.
So if Turtle is getting paid 700k, he didn't hit free agency. So it's FlyQuest not letting Turtle hit free agency and re-signing him before that. So they don't really know Turtle's market value, and they also think very highly of Turtle. Like, and they think Turtle is majority of their brand. If you go and watch FlyQuest content,
yeah, of course,
like in their YouTube, anything without Turtle is getting less than 1,000 views.
So
yeah, but it's like at that point, it's like who the fuck cares? Like you're getting such little views anyway that it's like, why does that factor into your decision at all? It's not like he's like carrying your brand. And it's like, damn, we have all these followers because of Turtle. It's like, what does your fucking YouTube have? Last time I checked, it was like 20,000 subscribers. FlyQuest YouTube. Let's see. See if it even fucking comes up when I type this.
Turtle is the only player in the LCS. I'm looking through the contract database that is currently signed to 2022.
17.9k subscribers in 3 years of being in LCS. How disgusting is that? 3 years of being in LCS, they have 17.9k subscribers. Like, what the fuck? Loco made like his fucking Loco Let's Loose in like season 6, and in like 3 weeks he had like 20,000 subscribers or some shit. Like, this is just not anything I would care about at all. Like, no one's watching this shit. The fuck?
Yeah, kind of yikes. We don't know if the rumor is true. It is just a rumor. But I can see like 500 for Centaurian. That's not.
Bro, CoreJJ started a YouTube channel, right? CoreJJ started a YouTube channel less than a month ago. Less than a month ago, he has 35,000 subscribers. He has double in less than a month. And his videos are literally like how to support. It's like, okay, don't stand behind your AD carry. That's his fucking content. And he's getting double the fucking subscribers in less than a month, man. That channel is so fucking dead. Holy shit.
All right, let's talk well about FlyQuest. How do we feel about Pyre Vivo Ignar?
Talk well about FlyQuest. Wait, why? Like, what?
I feel bad. I feel like Daniel. The truth hurts, so now I want to say nice things.
You're the one that said Jason, by the way. Like, that's you, dude.
Yeah, you're like, Jason is complete fucking dog shit, and he's getting paid 700k. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? What is my take supposed to be? It's like, wow, that's a great fucking organizational move. What geniuses they have running this thing. Like,
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm friends with Nick too, but like, this is some bullshit. If what I'm hearing is correct, this just doesn't make any sense.
Okay. There's actually more things to touch on that's also bad for it. I think Pyre Beeble is very stubborn as a player and not that flexible, and same thing for Ignar. I think he's
not that good at different stuff. Like, honestly.
I think they're very good at what they're good at, but this is such an inflexible roster. It's going to be a very brutal roster, and if the numbers are true, you're overpaying for players, and also Turtle didn't look the best, so...
Think about how triggered Ignar is going to be going from upset to Wild Turtle. That's the AD carry transition he's making. Upset to Wild Turtle. He's going to lose his fucking mind.
Yeah.
The only good thing is like potentially the mid 2v2, Centaur and Pyre Beeble, when Pyre Beeble's on certain champions.
Yeah. I mean, Pyre Beeble's good at what he does. He just like, I just feel like he's just a player that's going to get what you pay for type shit. Like, he's just going to play Pyre Beeble style. He's not going to be like, he's never been able to really play other stuff. I mean, like, he played some Kiana games, but it never looked good. He played some LeBlanc games that never looked comfortable for him either, really, besides for like really early on in his career, which obviously can't have any relevance into now. I don't know. I just feel like this is like a team where if metas change and like they are not like really far ahead of other teams in terms of just like individual fucking skill, I don't see how they beat TL. I don't see how they beat roster like C9's roster, TSM's projected roster.
Well, let's look at it from a positive lens, and I think a way to do that is the two changes that they've made so far. Pobelter to Pyre Beeble, upgrade, yes, and then Wadid/JJ to Ignar, upgrade, right?
Yeah. So that's why I think they can go from being like a 9th place team to like a 6th place team,
or a 7th,
or a 5th place team, or something like that, but not much more than that.
Yeah, not much good things to say. Not much of a brand. Not going to be too exciting. They're just, I mean. Not everyone can be main characters. They're definitely the background character of LCS.
That was a good one. Logo, that was a good one, dude. I liked that one. I want to touch on Pobelter a little bit. Is he outside looking in the LCS?
Probably, right? Like there's the EG.
You'd rather have Demonte over Pobe.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I'm also kind of surprised they dropped Pobe.
I would take Pobelter over Demonte.
FlyQuest was promoting the hell out of him and his girlfriend on like their merchant stuff, and it was all over during off season. Like, that was the majority of their tweets. And Pope was one of their like content players. Like, you would see that Pope tier list every week or so from FlyQuest. So a little bit of a surprise drop.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't even care about these teams. I feel like content has gotten so much worse from where it was in like season 5, season 4 in LCS. Like, if you just look at numbers, like the old TL series, like Rebirth, fucking old TSM Legends, it just used to get way more fucking viewers.
You know what? What the old Rebirth and TSM Legend have in common?
Hey, we were both on it.
Yeah,
there it is. Let's go.
I was on both. Yeah.
Okay, but wait, also, you were never on Rebirth. You were on Squad, right?
Okay. And Breaking Point.
Okay, Breaking Point. I'll
Star
give you
Breaking Point.
Yeah, me and
Along
Dardoch
with,
co-stars.
Logitech keyboard.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Logitech keyboard. Yeah, it's because they were sponsored by Razer at the time. So that was just like marketing, just showing how flimsy the Logitech keyboard was.
But yeah, I don't have any more comments on FlyQuest. I do think they made upgrades, but it's just not a very exciting team in terms of roster power or content or just in any manner. They're a very mild and a below average team.
All right. Yeah. Well, unfortunate, but FlyQuest, we'll see. I always have faith in Nick's roster building. They've been able to succeed with rosters that we didn't expect, and they were one of the playoff contenders. They were one of the playoff contenders last season. But yeah, this topic was a little slow. So just to wake everybody up, here's the GIF that we're talking about. Cadian also just kind of in the background. Dude, that is so good. I love this thing. All right.
Damn, I was promised that would not be on film, but whatever.
Not by me. All right, let's see what's next. All right. Oh, during the movie creation.
What?
During the movie creation when they made the movie?
Yeah.
Lied. All right, next up. Everyone's favorite, Logo's favorite, me and Logo's favorite, Golden Guardians.
What? My favorite's TSM. Fuck this team.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your 2 years are up. There's your 2019 roster, your 2020 roster. Froggen, Contracts, Hanser, FBI, Deftly, Huhi, Ole. Both of those supports now looking for jobs. FBI, we don't know how long the contract was. Let's see. But he's the one that took over the starting spot once Deftly was moved. Yeah, Golden Guardians here, taking a look at the bot lane role. FBI signed from 2021. So he's actually got 2 years left on his contract. So he's definitely along the way. And Contracts, although no longer starting because Closer has come on in, is still signed through 2020. There are no players that that will become free agents this year. So all their players have been at least signed so that they can be moved or released at the end. But yeah, Golden Glue coming into the mid lane for Froggen, which opens up that new spot for Closer to come on in. The champion of Turkey. You saw a lot in the Twitch chat about it. Dom, you think he's overrated?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is like, I didn't watch TCL this last split. I watched TCL the previous split. I watched Worlds where he played, and I played with him in EU. And if you're losing to me in jungle in EU, dude, just fucking retire, all right, dude? Like, I've been retired for 4 fucking years. You can't be getting shit on by you in EU. So, I don't know. I never thought he was that good. I just don't have any hope for this team. Like, they have no firepower on this team. Like, this is just a team where it's like, who's gonna fucking carry this shit, man? I mean, FBI is like promised, but you want to have FBI like filling the role when you have like really fucking like you have like FBI and then a good like import mid laner, and then you put like solid NA jungler, solid NA top like around him. But this is just a team with zero fire. Like, I can't see this team not being bottom 3.
They kind of gave up on being like. The last year internally they were saying, oh, it's going to be our championship year, and the year before that they were saying we're going to be playing at Oracle. It's like this team has had very, very strange kind of expectations on themselves. It seems like they're finally being a little bit more realistic.
Fucking Grabs is flaming me in the chat.
Why is Grabs saying Closer is good? Like, if he's
I don't know.
Grabs,
like
Grabs
an
is talking
team.
up. He's been talking him up.
Well, I don't know. It's just weird because like I never understood why he was like. What did people think was so good about him? Like, what makes him good? When I watched him at Worlds, he didn't look that good. Like, I didn't think he was like he looked as good as Adi for the most part in those games. Like, I wasn't like, oh shit, this guy is like insane.
I'm kind of shocked that Hanser's staying. There's like so many teams that need a good native top laner, and Hanser is one of the few good top laners that's North American that can compete with the imports. And this is a team that's kind of like, we're fine not competing. We're fine not going to Worlds. And honestly, this team probably won't make playoffs. So one of the best things they could do is sell off Hanser for a significant amount. If Vulcan's 1.5 mil, I'm pretty sure Hanser could be $1 million. Sell Haunter for $1 million. That helps you so much in terms of salary. That helps you so much in terms of budget.
I mean, it just look at this team. Everyone else is getting like these top, like you look at the imports on other teams, right? It's like, okay, we got fucking Broxa, Impact. Oh shit, wait. TL's like completely imported. Jensen, like, and Core JJ. Okay, their whole team's imported. But anyway, just think about the status of those imports. And then Golden Guardians gets 2 wildcard imports. That's what they're using their slots. It seems so insane to me.
I mean,
Grabs is saying we scrimmed Royal Youth from time to time. He suffers from the same thing as Yenko's Broxa when games go bad in Mayo. So they did actually scrim them, and he's talking well about them. Maybe it is not a meme.
Okay. We'll see.
We'll see.
I just can't see. Okay, Grabs, do you think that he's good enough to not make this team bottom 3? That's my question. Like, when you see this roster, it's like, how could they not be bottom 3 with Closer on it?
Also, Golden Glue. Golden Glue, while he's been destroying Academy mids for such a long time, like, he's been kind of capped at, like, I destroy Academy mid, but I'm not going to be a top-tier North American LCS player.
I kind of want to, like, at least say that this is what you would hope you would have the opportunity to do if you are destroying Academy mids. Find an opportunity where you can do that. And Cloud9 wasn't going to ever be that opportunity for him. And his Cloud9 Academy team was very good. But you hope that you destroy an academy, that you get another shot somewhere else. So I at least like the fact that he has that. I don't, again, from Golden Guardian standpoint, I don't know if I would do that. But I like that he's getting an opportunity to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine for him to get an opportunity, but it's like, even if he plays really well, right? Like, really well for Golden Glue standard, can you say that he's good at, like, where does this team actually have a dominant player? Like, which player on this team is top 3? Top 4? Top 5?
Haunter,
like,
maybe? That's
Haunter,
like
Haunter maybe top 5?
5,
okay.
6.
Like, yeah, that could be a thing. Like, let's say Broken Blade.
Thing, though.
Let's say Broken Blade plays on form. You'd probably take Broken Blade over Haunter. Let's say you have fucking Licorice, you have Impact, and then like you have Someday coming back in. It's like, I don't know, man. They have no player that's like above average on their team.
One thing I would love to see is Haunter go over to Evil Genius. I think that would be an amazing fit. Haunter and Spence Garen get along. Golden Guardians.
Yeah, wait, what do Golden Guardians get?
What is it, money?
To do what?
I don't know.
Not
buy
spend
some players that are not from wildcard leagues.
Because they're not going to spend it?
What just happened to my lighting?
I don't know,
Like,
dude.
Some years, like, you're not in
Your
the
monitor.
game.
It's your monitor behind you. I think it's reflecting.
Some
Yeah,
years,
I think it's the light just actually hitting the camera. Hold on.
Okay.
like, some years
it
you're
should be
not,
better.
like, in it to win it. And for Golden Guardians, this isn't a year where they aren't in it to win it. And there's a team, an Evil Genius, that wants to win super fucking badly. So charge them up the ass and sell Haunter. I think that's what they should do. I don't think Haunter just doesn't fit on this roster in terms of skill level compared to the other players.
I don't know. FBI is hope. Like, he's definitely a player that has like good potential. But last year he was last. We just saw my 80 carry list. I put him last for a reason. Like, it just some of the games he played, he would just die so much. Like, the one that sticks out to me is that game versus Core JJ and Doublelift, where he died 4 times, or he died 3 times in lane before level 4. Like, he was against Alistar and some other champion. He had Tom Catch on his team. Just got combo died, like for the entire fucking game. I don't know. It just seems like you have no. I mean, unless everyone just massively overperforms, this team is just going to be bottom of the table.
I'm trying to figure out how to properly word this so no trouble comes my way. Loco, as you know. But I think that if you sell Haunter, or even if whatever, you need to try and cultivate a culture of winning, because that's not what's synonymous with Golden Guardians right now. Like,
Why don't you get some players that fucking win? Like, what?
That's not the culture they can build right now. Not with the players they have.
Because you can't attract those players to a place like this. This is like the Cleveland Browns. Like, no one wants to go play there unless you spend them a ton of money. Or like, what's another team that isn't great in sports? Or it's just very difficult to.
Why not save money this year and go next year? Maybe there's a big free agent that's available on the market, and then you're making a play for that free agent. They need to make a long-term plan. Like, short-term, they can't start winning right now. that's just the choice. That's just the truth. Like, there's no way for them to start winning right now with the pieces they have. So just wait. There's going to be a big free agent market, or there's going to be a big free agent available in the future, and save up all your money so you can offer him a Huni kind of contract.
Oh God, the Huni contract. I feel like that's just the worst fucking thing you can do. Is like try to go the Huni contract route.
I feel like that's what they gotta do. But supports.
They're just so fucking doomed.
Which supports are left over here that can fill this spot?
They can't even get an import support. Because if they have Closer and FBI, they need
Hui could get the fucking role, right?
Hui comes back.
He tweeted about being a free agent, so probably not Hui coming back. I don't know.
Who's left?
Matt.
Ole?
Big.
Matt.
We got Matt.
Big.
You know, if Meteos can come home, Matt can come home, right? Matt
JJ
can return
Afro.
back to Golden Guardians.
All right. X Special. Return of the X Special.
X Special is doing well over in Harrisburg. I think
JJ. Oh, fuck. Okay. We're just done with this. Let's just go next team. Holy fuck.
Yeah. I don't.
This team is just terrible. They're
not
just
much
a terrible
nice things
team.
to say. Let's go.
All right. So next up, a new organization, but a familiar face back to it. It's Immortals, formerly Optic. So there's Optic's very fun, overachieving roster. Dokla, Meteos, Crown, Arrow, and Big. Big and Gate splitting a little bit of time.
This is just a fucking boomer ass team.
Meteos,
Like, look at this
Scarlet,
team.
but then look at this 2020
These motherfuckers
roster.
are old as shit.
This looks
what
like
the
someone
fuck?
that watched LCS back in 2013, 2014 was like, man, if I ever took control of a team, this is what I would build. And here we are.
Jesus
So as Xmithy on the top side, don't know who the mid laner is yet, with Altec and Hakuho recently announced now to cover the bottom side of the map. Where did Altec come from? Altec went to Korea, right? He went to Korea.
He went to Korea. He got a challenger over there. He's doing well. He's 10 NA, solo queue all season. He was just like working on improving himself as a player, and got an offer now.
Well, I'm surprised Altec got an offer over Apollo, because like Apollo and Hakuo, they were like joined at the hip, no?
I mean, Apollo's just not been playing well recently. I don't think. Like, he had a really bad last year in LCS, and I just think it's not his year.
And also like Altec getting the offer above like some of the academy ADs like Prismo, Johnson.
I feel like Johnson could play, but I've heard that Johnson's buyout is insane.
Who's the other TSM AD carry? Like they have two really good AD carries from what I heard.
Tactical.
Tactical, yeah. So yeah, really good for Altec, but pretty surprising. And I agree with the other parts. Like, it is kind of a boomer roster. Like, I don't mind the Hakuo pickup. I love the Xmithy pickup. The Soaz one was out of nowhere.
Like, they're gonna be smart, but like, goddamn, they're just gonna be fucking so like behind in terms of like raw mechanics in a lot of the matchups. I feel like they're just gonna get killed in lanes and shit and just run around the map.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that talk very highly of Soaz. I've always been like, Soaz is. He's not bad, right? He's always deserved this spot in the LCS, LEC, whatever they called it at the time. But I've never felt like he's been a top performer. When he went back to Fnatic, it was like, it's the reunion, and that like didn't last all that long. It's like, okay, we're gonna be on Misfits that he got benched. It is like, okay, Origin or whatever. Like, it's like, I feel like for a long time he's been living off of a reputation. And now this might be one of his last shots. And given how stacked that top lane meta is here in North America, and given how stacked the jungle is, paired with Xmithy, who is more of a cerebral player, not the playmaker. Who's going to make the play in the top lane? Who's going to make the play in the top lane dive? So as it,
I mean, they're going to just like make good calls. Like, they're going to do things strategically well. Like, hey, I have pressure in this matchup. Like, let's set up the dive there. Like, I think Soaz is good to have on a roster because he's just smart about the game, and he'll normally like always do his job well. Like, Misfits, he obviously looked bad, but Misfits roster looked like complete shit everywhere. So I don't know how you can like even like judge him off that. Like, I don't hold that much weight towards that. I think in 2018 he was just pretty much like a tank player for the second half of the season. They pretty much just used him as like, he's the tank player, and then you have Bwipo's like fucking shield. Yeah, Bwipo's the fucking carry player. I don't know. I think Soaz is pretty good. He's gonna be like low rated right now. I'm not like super high on Soaz. Like, I don't know how good he is, but I think that he'll be better than people expect for sure.
Where do you put him?
Where would I put him?
Yeah, like just off the top of your head. Like for me, I'm thinking like a 7. I'm 7.
Yeah, like probably like a 6 or a 7. But I think that's like pretty decent when you look at like the people that are going to be above him, right? Like, so if he's a 6-7, that means that you have what? You have people like Hooney slightly above him, right? Then you have fucking Impact, Licorice, Broken Blade. That's already 4. And then there's going to be like, I think he's going to be competing with people like Viper for that spot.
Hanser.
And yeah, Hanser for that spot. If Solo gets on a roster, it'd be like that level of stuff. I don't know. I think it's really meta dependent too.
Someday.
Like if Someday is there too. So I think that if it's tank meta, I think he'll be like a really fucking good top laner. I think if it's carry meta, he'll be like okay, better than people think, but not like insane.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Logo. I was just like...
No. I'm thinking about Soaz. I just think it's kind of... It feels very retirement. I really hate to say that. And Soaz, like...
Well, yeah, of course it feels retirement. It's an EU player coming to NA. Why else did they come here?
On a decline too, right?
I mean, you're not coming here to fucking win. Like, we're not even making it out of groups. EU's making it to final. Like, you're not coming here to fucking win. You're coming here for a fucking bag. That's it.
Yeah. If they get Froggen, then it is actually full Team Boomer.
Oh, God, that's just the oldest goddamn team. What do you think that they'll get sponsored by, like, a wheelchair company? Like, fucking depends.
AARP.
Adult diapers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Retirement funds. That could be Skrilla that.
Shit.
Could be Skrilla that. Actually, Froggen there, is that doable? Does that fit?
Yeah, that works. No,
Yep,
only one import, and so that's...
Yep. It has to be an import mid, right? There's no way they go for anything else.
They could, but Froggen wants to play. Froggen wants to stay in NA.
Froggen. Those are the 3 mid lane free agents that were in NA that are currently unattached.
Even though Froggen has like a decent stream, when I talked to him about it before, he wants to play competitive, and he
loves it.
Yeah, so Froggen, he wants to play. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't have nice things to say about this roster. It feels so retirement for a lot of the people on it. So
I mean, it's just like I can't
getting paid. Xmeti was on that shitty CLG contract for such a long time. I am so happy for Xmeti that he is finally getting like paid up the huzzah.
How do you know he's getting paid?
There was a bidding war between Immortals and TSM from... Yeah, there was a bidding war from what I heard. And not just Immortals and TSM. It ended up with Immortals and TSM. There was a lot of teams that wanted Xmeti, and those were like 2 people at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see this team even making playoffs, though, realistically. Like, the playoffs teams that we've already seen, you look at, like, the CLG roster. You look at all the rosters that we've seen so far, the CLG roster, the FlyQuest roster, like, the other ones that are going to be in that tier of competition, I can't see them be better than any of these teams.
Just my thing is like whoever they get mid lane, I don't think it'll be able to like save them. It'll be able to save Immortal, but I'm glad for everyone on this team, especially for Xmeti and Soaz. You guys have had a long career. Both of you guys my age or a little bit older, been playing since like season 1. Like I'm glad for you guys that you guys are finally getting paid, but I can't say nice things about the roster.
Are we sleeping on Alltech and Hakuho? Like, Hakuho was the better half of Hakuho and Apollo.
Yeah, but he looked bad last year, I would say. Like, Hakuho didn't look like 2018
He looked bad because Apollo looked bad.
No, I felt like he looked bad because he just, like, looked uncharacteristically bad. Like, just in lane, he just wasn't the same beast that he was. Like, he used to be the mechanical god support, but I don't know. I think that he's coming on a low, too.
There's... Which piece are you like most excited for? I think the piece you have to be most excited for is Xmeti, but Xmeti needs good pieces around him, and he doesn't. He's like an enabler. And who are you enabling? You're enabling Soaz, you're enabling Alltech from solo queue, you're enabling mystery mid laner that might be Froggen.
I mean, Alltech can carry a game. Like Alltech's always been able to carry with leads. He's just never been like able to like consistently generate leads, and he's never been consistent enough to like. He never was like as good as like Cody's son, for example, at like carrying the game with a lead. Like he's just more of like a safe cleanup AD carry. He's like Sven tier, kind of, but probably a little worse.
No more thoughts for me about this team.
Yeah,
I just feel like we are sleeping on this.
It's a fucking old goddamn team.
Yeah,
I like this team. It makes me feel young. It's good. Like I'll watch it, I'll be like, look, it's not that bad.
Maybe I could still play pro.
Yeah, I'll be like, I could probably get shit on an LCS just as hard as this guy. It's nice. Like,
all right. Well, Immortals with their moves, still one more to go, and even then, probably not going to change the outlook for this not playoff rated roster. All right. The champs are here. Team Liquid showing up. One move.
This is the first place team.
The move that everyone's been waiting for. It was Xmithie, and this time it was actually Broxah that's going to come in and fill this role for 2020. How does this change the way that you view this team?
I actually think it's bad. I actually think this is going to be kind of the Zben Mithy for double if Biofrost kind of move. I think Broxah is a system player. He's really good when the system is very simple. Play around the level 2 power spike, play Camille Zhao, and go fight people in the river, go be a crap battler. Go play around Nemesis with Hilly, play around your level, or play around the 3v3 power spike. But when Broxah has to make creative decisions and come up with decisions on the fly or come up with a new plan and adapt, I actually think he struggles a lot. And Xmithie was so good about like catering to Jensen, catering to Double Lift, giving Impact just the amount of help that they need. I think they're going to struggle at first, and they're going to need to really figure out how Broxah fits into the team. And also, the game is going to be very different in Season 10 with like the dragons and stuff. So if they can figure out another system that works very well for Broxah, it'll be fine. But initially, I think it'll be a downgrade.
I think they're just still going to be the best team. I see no reason why they shouldn't finish first with this lineup. Like, I think that there's enough good players around Broxah that he's going to be able to make like fine decisions. And and this is like something that was welcomed by Jensen, right? Like Jensen was kind of like up and down on Xmithie. He wasn't like super high on him. And it's like you get your Danish synergy mid jungle. Dude, I know that fucking Danish mid laners like that shit. Come on, you had Bjergsen with Bjergsen Svenskeren, you had Jensen Svenskeren before. Like, dude, that's just a thing, man. I feel like this team there's no reason why they shouldn't just be better than the rest of the teams, because they're already better, and I don't think that they've like changed that much like negatively. And Broxah is still clean mechanically on the champions he plays. Like, give him Olaf, give him Lee Sin, give him Elise, have him fucking play the game the way he wants. He has the potential to be like one of the better junglers in the world. We've seen it before.
You don't think he has a problem in terms of like decision making? Like, we were talking about that matchup.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the FPX series, that was the most clueless he's ever seen, right? The two series where he looked bad was the G2 series and the FPX series. But when you hear about Fnatic talk about each other and there's like having like fucking mental breakdowns all the time, and Reckless is like like having a fucking like anxiety crisis every time he gets ganked, like it's pretty hard to like let your lanes go like normal. Like, I mean, you get it.
What do you mean, Dom? Broxah said that him and Reckless don't fight. They're always there for each other. They always support each other. What do you mean? Did you not read Broxah tweet?
I can just see it right now. Like, Broxah's just playing the game. Bot lane gets ganked once. He starts hearing like the quivering voice bot lane, the sniffling into the microphone, and he's like, oh god, I gotta protect him. Dude, the thing is, Broxah's too soft. Broxah's like a nice, gentle guy, right? He's a gentle giant. And when he hears that, he's going to just go and sacrifice himself just to try to help his boy right there and just try to like be like a support system. But I don't think he has to do that anymore.
I don't know, Dom. Anytime we talk about drama within teams on the show, like Acadian came out and told us how good things are on TSM. Broxah came out, told us how good things are on Fnatic. I just don't believe it. Why would Broxah and Acadian lie about like how good their environment is?
Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. There's no reason that they could that I can think of. So yeah, we just were wrong about those two things.
Big junglers.
It's crazy that those teams didn't stick with the same lineup, considering that they like each other.
Unfortunate, right?
Yeah, it must have just been contract negotiations, something like that.
Yeah, big buyouts. Mm-hmm. Daniel, what are your thoughts?
I think what happened was they ended up such good friends. They started becoming romantically involved, and having those types of relationships on the same team is just not
on Facecheck.
It's just it's not suitable for a work environment.
Yeah,
I think this is less about Broxah, the decision to bring in Broxah, and more of the decision to move on from Xmithie. We touched on it before. Xmithie's always been the guy to accentuate other lanes, and it's funny, he's the glue guy, and you hold things together. On Immortals, he has nothing to hold together, but here on Team Liquid, now there's no one holding things together. Not as many things holding together. And it seems like Double F's tried to be that kind of player, that kind of leader, that captain, which I thought was pretty cool when Jensen had a struggle at Worlds. But I feel like the glue guys, the guys that have intangibles, the experience, they are always undervalued. That's the nature of being that kind of position. And so now with Broxah is going to have to be
not
like
very
a big
visible.
thing. Exactly. So you can't, it's harder to put a value on that when you don't have a stat for like wards or stat for like jungle presence or any of those things compared to the way that you carry yourself, the way, when you say, what you say, how you say it. And I think it's going to be exciting to see how this Team Liquid roster does now moving on from Xmithy.
Another thing that was kind of interesting was Double F mentioned that he wanted to keep Xmithy. Like, that was his opinion. So it's other people making that decision.
I mean, I just think that Xmithy's like work ethic and stuff is not like something that Koreans are super appreciative of. You know, like every Korean that I've ever like heard talk about like mindset towards practice is like the more practice, the better. Yeah. And I feel like Jake's mentality has always been like, I'll play like a couple games of solo queue. Like if somebody even looked at the stats, like Xmithy pretty much only played on his main account. He had like 260 games of solo queue the entire year. That's like one game of solo queue a day, average, you know, and like everyone else is fucking like grinding the shit out of the game. So I feel like a player like Broxah, and Broxah grinds pretty hard, you know, like he streams as well as like he streams on his off day almost every single day that they have off. And he plays like a lot of solo queue, has like well over 1,000 games this season as well. So I think that mentality just fits the team better, and I think everyone's just more comfortable with that.
Before spamming talk about LEC now, we probably won't get to it. It's already been like a 2-hour 30 episode. Like that's not happening, guys.
So this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about like probably next week's episode we could just do like full LEC with just a little bit fill in of what happens in NA. But the NA rosters have been like more completed, I feel like, than EU to this point. So we'll just do like full LEC next time.
We'll do the updates on how these rosters filled out, specifically like Immortals. What was the other one? EG and Dignitas. Those are the ones that are like we have no idea what the hell they're doing. But
and we'll also do research on the LEC players before we actually talk about them, because I don't even know some of the names that are being mentioned.
Yeah, like I don't know about like the like what is the guy's name, like Crazy or something? Yeah, there's like two
Misfit guys. Like I have no idea who they are.
Who the fuck are those guys? Where did they come from? Right. I mean, obviously a national league, but like
they were a self-made guy. Who's lying?
Okay, I know about that guy, but like
let's finish up on
Carzy. Who the fuck is Carzy? Like, where did he play? Carzy.
Right. Anyone have final thoughts on TL?
They're the favorites. They're always going to be the favorites until they're not the favorites. But I think the glue guy, you know, Broxah will work harder, but how will he do in the face of adversity? Whereas Jake's always been the same guy. He's always been the same. Dom?
I think they'll do okay. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they'll be able to step it up. I think this team is just like better mechanically. Just like I think that this opens up a different way to play. Like they're not going to be like, hey, we just play bot side all. Xmithy, give up all your camps and like jack off like in the fucking bot lane for the entire game. Like I think that it'll be more like they'll just be able to play the game naturally, and they'll have like a higher upside than they did with Xmithy. Because I mean, when you saw like TL at Worlds last year, it felt like that was pretty much like the best they could do, like with that roster. You know, you felt like Xmithy was playing pretty well. I mean, Jensen had a little bit of an underperformance, or pretty big underperformance, but it didn't seem like that team could have done a lot better than they have. I feel like this just gives you like better overall players, and it should just lead to better results.
Can you imagine Steve doing the round table with this roster? What he did with you guys with this roster? Impact. Do you want to play with the one? Okay. Xmithy. yeah, I think it was good. Jensen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty bad.
All right. So that's your TL. Those are your favorites. Time for everyone's favorite team to talk about on this show. One, because Loco is his favorite team. Me and Dom, because it's fun to talk about TSM and their multiple junglers. This time, it seems like the jungle position has finally been locked in.
It's a fucking jungle kingdom.
Dardoch has been locked in there, getting out of Academy hell. Will be the starting roster. That makes Dom very, very happy. Broken Blade. I think Broken Blade's the only one that's not fully confirmed. There goes. Oh, he's gonna get his fucking jersey, isn't he?
All right. Well, there it goes.
Oh, it's his hoodie.
Oh Lord.
We're just gonna wait.
Can he hear us? Can we talk shit about him?
Yeah, we could.
What's up?
Did you see how?
And that's why we like Loco so much.
So much.
Okay.
You frolicked
Excellent.
back to get your sweater too. You didn't even walk. You like giddied over there. Broken Blade, Acadian, Grig, and Spica in the playoffs. Don't forget young Ming Lu playing jungle, and then Bjergsen, Sven, and Smoothie. Obviously, those guys didn't work out. They all moved on. And so Dardoch getting the starting jungle position. Kobbe moving from Splice and his pretty solid performance from EU. And then Bio Daddy coming home. The Stockholm Syndrome has been complete. Returns back over to TSM.
God, I mean, I'm so excited to see if TSM is somehow able to manage to ruin Dardoch. Because he's like one of the most like headstrong players in the league, right? Like he's definitely the most headstrong jungler that they've always had. Like they've always went for these junglers that are like nice guys outside the game that are pretty like tame. And Dardoch's just like a straight asshole that's just gonna be like, yo, fuck, like this shit is retarded. Like what you're telling me to do, I'm just not doing it. You know? And I feel like TSM needs some of that because every single other player that plays for them is just like, okay, yeah, so you want me to just be a fucking ward? Excellent, I'm gonna do it. And then they just sit around the fucking mid lane for the entire fucking game. Like, I want to see somebody with some like spunk, somebody who just like doesn't give a fuck, go out there and like actually make some fucking plays. And like, even if the plays don't work, just at least just die and fucking keep on going for it.
Just
where it feels like
Dardoch and spunk. Those are the two words I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone on this team has a very high upside, but they also have some people on the team have a very low floor. I think Broken Blade, Dardoch.
Really? Those are the only two.
Broken Blade, Dardoch, Biofrost. I think those three have extreme high upside, but also very low floors.
I don't really feel like Biofrost has ever been like super inconsistently bad.
What? I think what CLG last 2 years? What?
Yeah, I don't think he was that bad last year. I had him as like what, my third best support in the league.
I think he did.
What did we have? What did you have him at? Bring up this fucking support.
Yeah, I got.
I had him I think like top 4. I had him pretty high up there. But there's times where he's been fucking god awful. Like I never felt
like he was actually god awful. I thought that Stixay was like the bad player in that bot lane. I've always thought that Biofrost was a solid player.
I will explain to you guys what floor means. I think overall, Biofrost is a good player. Overall, Dardoch and Broken Blade are good players, and they will most likely be good players. But they have shown that they can be really fucking bad for a long period of time if they are not in the right meta, if they don't play the right champions. Biofrost without Tom Kench, anyone? Like, these are players like that have been very, very up and down.
Dom, you ready? You ready for as much as that loco?
I know I have Bio at 2 or something.
let's see.
Okay, let's fucking see.
Let's see where this motherfucker.
No, I'm saying he has a high ceiling and a high floor. Oh my god, no one understands. No one fucking understands what I'm saying. Oh my god. Wait, did no one watch CLG for the last 2 years? It's just
I watched it. I just don't think.
Why were they not in playoffs? Like, who was the problem then?
What do you mean? Wiggly was fucking inting the whole spring split. Their top laner was Darshan. Wiggly's fucking hard inting the entire fucking split in this in spring split, and then Stixay was just overall bad for the last 2 years. Like up until the end of last year, he was bad.
I love how everyone has a certain image of Biofrost due to the TSM days, and like people just like discount like the CLG days. So it's like, oh, it's Darshan, oh, Wiggly is new. Like, okay, yes, those are problematic, but Bio was also problematic in some of those parts.
Those were very problematic.
No, Bio was also problem. Like, people weren't going like, oh man, only like Darshan and Wiggly are the only problems on this team. Like, bot lane was also a problem. We were talking about Stixay and Biofrost without Aframo and Double Lift. They just look like two sidekicks together. Does no one remember after Biofrost and Stixay got separated from Afro Double, like how we shit-talked them together, like how they got carried by Afro and Double? No one remembers having this conversation.
No, yeah. I remember having this conversation, but my interpretation was never that Biofrost was a bad player. It was that he just like wasn't like somebody who's gonna fucking win you the game. Like when you put him in a winning team with good players, he's able to like thrive and have good mechanics. But if you're like, hey dude, we're trying to like have you fucking carry the entire situation by yourself, yeah, he's not somebody that's gonna elevate the level of a team by himself. Plus he plays fucking support, dude. Like all support players are fucking bitches to some degree, right? So let's be real. Like none of these guys are gonna come in and fucking carry the goddamn game. He's just there to have good mechanics, set up some plays, like hopefully Thresh and Bard are meta, and like he's able to fucking do something. But I thought he had a pretty good. I thought he had a pretty good last fucking split.
Okay, beyond Biofrost, at least for Broken Blade and Dardoch, they are very high ceiling, low floor players. We've seen the best of Broken Blade in spring, and we've seen the worst of Broken Blade in summer. And I mean, for Dardoch, I don't even need to talk about it.
I think Dardoch is good, but like his floor is like attitude, not really like in terms of skill. Like there was never a point in LCS where I was like, damn, he's just bad in LCS.
Yeah.
Like there was no point where I ever thought he was a bad player in LCS.
Yeah.
Like it looked like he was either like fucking really frustrated or like something like that. Like, it never felt like trying his best. It's like, damn, he's just kind of bad now. Like I feel like that about certain junglers. Like there's periods where Sven Skaren looked like that. Like TSM 2017, it was like, what the fuck is Sven doing? He just invades and dies every single game. He literally goes to the enemy rates and ints every game at the same time. Like it literally looked like it was part of their strategy. I think that
tilt is a big problem with Josh, and depending on how Broken Blade plays, Dardoch he likes playing top side. He does like playing bot side, but he does like top side is like one of his favorite ways to play. If Broken Blade cannot be on the form that's required out of him, I think that's going to be hugely problematic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that in general, this has always been Dardoch's like fucking hero since he joined LCS, right? Like Bjergsen is like the person that Dardoch respects the most, right? Even on TL, like I remember when I was on TL, like he clearly thought Bjergsen was just the best mid in the league. Like he just looked up to that guy a fuck ton. And I feel like if there's anyone that can like that he'll just get respect from, like even if Bjergsen plays bad in scrims, I do not think that Dardoch will talk to him the same way he used to talk to Sam. Where it was like, open your fucking eyes, dude. What the fuck are you doing? You asleep? Are you awake? Or you want to play the game? You want to just fucking cancel scrims? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you, Sam? Like, that's literally what, like, scrims were like in fucking TL with Dardoch. Mm-hmm. There's no way he pulls that shit with Bjergsen.
Sam,
like, he has to have...
Just to clarify, that was to Lorlo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I will say just from fact...
And Lorlo still loves him.
Lorlo
he's just like,
loves...
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
and you know what that
him.
is? That's like battered wife syndrome right there.
Josh.
Like Lorlo is just like, it's like, yeah, but you're the only one that still shows me attention and still believes in me. And just every time he comes there, like Dardoch just breaks him all the way fucking down because no one else has ever been there to build Lorlo up. That's all he has. It's fucking sad. Jesus Christ.
Ever since
now I get it,
Dardoch,
Loco, now I get it.
Yeah. Ever since I was working with Dardoch in 2014, the one player he's always wanted to play for and the one team he's always wanted to play on is TSM and Bjergsen. Yep. So, I mean, Dardoch's finally getting his wish. He's been wishing for this for about 5 years now. Wow, it's been 5... Wow. Or actually, I started coaching him in 2016. Yeah. I mean, I got my years confused. So, about 4 years now. He's been wishing for this for 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's about time. And I think that TSM just needs somebody like this, man. They kept on going for these like nice guy junglers, and it just never worked. They're like, oh, look at how positive Sven Skaren, Mike Young, Acadian, like Grig, like these are all just some like nice fucking wholesome ass junglers. Well, you don't need a wholesome ass jungler with your fucking system. You need a toxic piece of shit in the jungle. That's what you need.
Also, Kobbe and Bio, they aren't the best laners, so this is going to be a very top side oriented team. Kobbe does not like. There is like a little bit of a caveat with Kobbe because Northgaren was a Giga Enter, so maybe his laning was actually like held back so much.
Oh, dude, he inted so hard he changed his name. How fucking sad is that?
Yeah. So
he's tore now.
Maybe Kobbe is secretly a good laner. We'll see. Like now he doesn't have Northgaren. We'll actually get to see like how good are you as a laner. If he isn't that great, then this is going to be such a top oriented team. They will be fucking god tier in team fights though. Bjerg, Kobbe, Dardoch as a trio in terms of team fight, it's going to be amazing.
Yep, and I think Broken Blade is getting really underrated because of like the end of. But he was playing like 3 different fucking junglers. Like that was a fucking train wreck what happened on TSM. So I still think Broken Blade is like one of the better top laners like in the league. Like I don't think that based on summer you could say this, but I think that in next season I think he'll be a top 3 top laner. In the league. I think it'll be him, Licorice, and Impact, probably.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I think that's a big... I'm trying to decide.
That's a fucking statement. That's the hill I'm dying on. I believe Broken Blade's a good player. I actually have a lot of faith in that person.
I think Broken Blade
Grabs agrees with me, and he's smarter than everyone else in the chat, so shut the fuck up. All right, great. Excellent.
I think Broken Blade is a good player, but it's like kind of his maturity as a person, like adapting to North America, like growing as a boy, like those are the parts.
As a boy, what the fuck? Like
as a man,
going through puberty at the age of 20. Like
I don't want to mention. I don't want to mention too many things, but
yeah.
Okay.
He has growing up to do, and long as he grows up outside of the game, I think he'll be great.
Yeah, he definitely grew up in K-Town.
Daniel, no more clues.
I just think this move is so explosive and can work well. One thing that we haven't touched on in this team environment yet, Loco, I'm not sure if you know or can shed light on, the coaching situation. Kha'zix clearly lost, not control of his team in terms of they went wild, but it felt like his reins got pulled in when Daddy Reggie had to come down from the office and start yelling at people and then send his son-in-law Parth to control the team. Like that's kind of what it felt like happened to Kha'zix. Who's leading this team? How do they keep everyone in control?
I will tell you one thing. It won't be Andy. I met with Andy, and Andy is focused on other projects. It's not that he doesn't care about the LCS
That's what they
team.
say.
That's what he says every time, yeah.
This time for real. He's focused on other projects, and he's letting other people run the ship.
All right. Well, Dom is frozen, and that face of not believing it. There it is. Okay, yep. Dom, you're back.
Yeah, I don't buy it for a fucking second. Second that team starts, he just can't handle when the team starts like shitting the bed. Like when it starts spiraling, he has to fucking come back.
Okay, I will remind him that he said he wouldn't come back if he does. If he
Did
looks
you
like he's coming
the
back.
last 3 seasons, then 2 seasons.
No, I never want to be involved with like the team when like things are going wrong and like give like be the peanut gallery. I just want to support, like give my full support. But I will remind Andy if it does happen.
Okay.
K-Town, baby. That's where
I just want to be on record that if that shit starts going south in summer, I expect 100% to see the same Reggie just stepping in and trying to save the team.
Me too. Being like, Dardoch, you gotta stop being a little toxic piece of shit. He just goes even more toxic. You think you're toxic? I am toxic.
Yeah.
I was raised in the toxic.
This goes full fucking gorilla on him. Holy shit.
Oh my god, dog. Stop being mean.
How is that being mean? What the fuck?
Okay. Anyways, in terms of coaching, I don't think they need a strategical coach. I don't think they need someone with a lot of strategical expertise. I think they need someone that's more like well done, that's more like personality management. This is not a team with like lack of game knowledge. This is a team that needs personality management, and I hope the coach they pick up has a lot of that.
So currently on the roster for coach, it's Peter Zhang, formerly Echo Fox, been with TSM for 2 years now. Has it been 2 years?
Yeah. With TSM? This is his first year at TSM, or last year was his first year.
So this will be his second year coming up with TSM, so a little bit of continuity there on that front, but definitely in the market for a full-time head coach. All right. This is TSM. Any final thoughts on this roster? We talked about Bio and Kobbe and Lane. Their team fighting going to be godlike. Broken Blade, top 3 top laner. Bjergsen, slightly underrated, but was playing with 3 different junglers at a time, and talked, I think, to death the big news that broke today. Dardoch, anything else for this team? Is this the team that's going to challenge
that's
Team
a top
Liquid?
3 team. That better be a top 3 team. If that's not a top 3 team, man, I don't know what it is. Like they literally upgraded pretty much every position, right?
Yeah, I think this is a team that has the potential to be number 1 if everything is clicking. And like Bio, Kobbe Kobbe is actually a good laner. Northgaren was gigantic training weight for Kobbe, and he's a god. Broken Blade is more spring split Broken Blade. Dardoch isn't like trying to kill someone on the team or telling Steve he wants to get out of the team while Steve is yelling at me, Dardoch's the future of Team Liquid, make sure he stays on the team. Like
Bjergsen has percentage in the organization. Why don't I?
Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
You know, that was an actual conversation I had with Dardoch. He's like, Beer gets paid this much, why don't I? I'm like, Josh, you're a fucking rookie this year. Are you fucking serious? I'm gonna go boost if I don't get paid this. Like that was an actual fucking
I respect Dardoch because I've never seen somebody so team environment. You know, like I was like, oh, dude, he's toxic in solo queue, whatever. Like, I'm toxic in solo queue. Everyone's toxic in solo queue, but it's normally really hard for people to be like just as toxic to somebody's face. But it's like Dardoch is actually like really hype to work with. Like he'll just
really hyped. That's a nice way to describe it.
He will just fucking tell you you're fucking bad to your face. Just like, yeah, you're like Fabi. Let me tell you, man, You're no better than like an average diamond solo queue player at this point. Like he just fucking goes off.
Oh, sorry, Fabi. That's probably not the way
we would have like personal goals and like stuff that we would work on, and then I would be like, "Yo, Josh, your goal this game was doing X, Y, and Z," and he's like, "I don't give a fuck. Go suck a cock." I'm like, okay.
Jesus Christ.
One thing I will give credit to Dardoch is like it wasn't just to me. He did that to our investors. He did that to Steve. Like it does not matter. Does not matter.
There's no way he told the investors to go suck a cock. Like I just don't believe
he didn't say go suck a cock, but he was rude.
Okay, all right. Well, Jesus. Okay.
I will. Josh is alpha as fuck. He is alpha AF.
We did say though that one of the biggest points to make Dom's prediction come true is that Broken Blade needs to grow up. You have a very, very, very good example here in Dardoch. He's been working at it for 5 years. Now has the opportunity to be the mentor, not the mentee, because he's learned from the Korean support structure leader in LCS.
Oh, also one other thing I want to say: all the negative things I said about Dardoch is way far in the past, and from speaking to him recently, it seems like he has changed as a person. And being on Academy and not getting an LCS starting spot, I do think humbled him. So I very much expect a different Dardoch.
Dude, I hope not, man. This league scene is getting too fucking boring these days, man. Everyone is just like pussy nowadays. Like, let's get some players back that are just ruining teams. I want Breaking Point 2.0. I've been waiting 3 years.
Keyboards have gotten better, or so they say. We'll get to find out. LocoDoco, new head coach of TSM. That hoodie is actually from his signing deal.
get Tarzan in here. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Guys, I think that's all the LCS teams. We've been going here for 2.5 hours. Anything else that we wanted to hit on before we close it out for the day?
I know about all the big deals in LCK, like the CLID, BDD. Like, guys, we're not going to fucking have a 5-hour episode to talk about LEC and LCS and LCK and LPL, okay? We will bring you LEC news as it gets more complete.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have like a lot of time because it is off season, right? So like we'll be able to break it down into multiple episodes and should be good.
Yeah, but the big news here hitting a lot of the NA teams first because we overpay for talent, then everyone else trickles their way on down after that. Everyone using that $2.4 million mark for Huni to kind of base the rest of their deals on. And now things coming into place here. We'll be back next week to break down the LEC action. Until then, Dom, are you going to stream? Loco's still going to... Yeah, Loco, what are you going to stream now that you don't have matches to review?
What? I stream gameplay. I stream off-season stuff. My stream's been popping off. I argue with people. People love that content.
I'm telling you, that's such an untapped market. The Discord arguments where you just add somebody like random from either chat or from your game into Discord and you just flame them to their face for like half an hour straight. That is such an untapped market, man. That's my way to become a big streamer in fucking 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, you got a month left in 2019. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Facecheck's first off-season, preseason bonanza now is in the books. We'll cover LAC and any of the news for our LCS teams next week. All right, guys. Otherwise, take care. We'll see you next week.